Yeah, okay, but to be fair, Plix, when you go like and triple your player count, that seems impressive until you realize it's like it doesn't really mean anything. It's like if you're going from 3 to 9, yeah, if you're talking like a dinner reservation, that's a big deal. If we're talking like, if you're having a party at your house and you go from 20 to 60 people, that's a big deal. If we're talking a $250 million do you want out, Ivy? Live service game, that's a whole different story. You need a lot more than just triple your numbers there. Here, get up. Get up. Go, go. Like, it's all in context. It's all in, like, comparison here. I go from 3 to 9 with a special blue pill. Oh my. Is that what my future holds? Am I gonna have to worry about that shit? I don't think so. I think I'm okay there. I don't know. I think, honestly, at some point, if I have to have a little blue pill to keep things going, I'm just going to be done. Hey, Lucia, welcome back from vacation. How's the weather been? It's been hot as hell in Washington, although now it's going to cool down and rain apparently tonight. Yo, Angels, how are you, buddy? Sony will keep on with just for the Spite alone. They're not going to go down with a loss that big. You never know. You never know, honestly. I mean, look, they lost how much money on Concord, and they just pulled the plug on that piece of shit, so come on, really. It's hot and raining in Mexico? Oh my god. It's actually hot. Yeah, so Plix, here when it's hot, it's like 95, because it's like a freaking wet blanket wrapped around you when it gets warm, just because of the humidity alone. Guys, I spent like 5 hours in the car today. I am so beat. Like, honestly, I wanted to cover the Palworld stuff. I wanted to talk about Marathon tonight. I also just kind of wanted to play Palworld and finish Dune Messiah and move on to the third book, but I don't know. I was going to be kicking my ass if I didn't stream tonight. If you've been on a short bus, then you and I are besties. Oh my god. A vibrating ring? Oh my god. Oh man. Let's just say, luckily, I don't need any mechanical manipulation to keep things going at 40. Getting swamp ass is the worst. John, not because of that. I was just having I ate McDonald's last night, which I never do. And I think the latest thing that's been going around isn't just Taco Bell, because my stomach this morning was screwed up, like super awful. All I had was like a couple chicken wraps last night. Little like tortilla chicken, breaded chicken wraps. And my stomach, I was in the bathroom like the first half of the day. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get a shower. Not so much the swamp ass, though. I got the AC blasting at home and in the car right now because it's just too freaking hot. One vibrating ruled. Oh my god. Dude, okay. DB, on that note, I got to show you something. Hang on. Where is that at? Here we go. Did you see this shit about the new season of Rings of Power? Exclusive. Now, this is from Empire. Jamie Campbell Bower? Isn't that the dude from Stranger Things? Somebody help me out here. I'm pretty sure that's the Stranger Things guy. Right? Let me click on this. Hang on. His role in Season 3 of Rings of Power confirmed, playing Celeborn. Oh my god. The creepy, weirdo, pervert-looking guy from Stranger Things is playing Galadriel's husband. Wow. Yeah, Wise Ass Duck, you're 100% correct. Honestly, we've done very little fast food recently. It was one of those weird nights where my daughter had practice. My wife went to work with me. We didn't have time to cook. It was just one of those horrible situations. Just when you think they can't destroy any more precious IPs. I don't want to watch Dune. Okay, so I am 40 pages from the end of Dune Messiah. And I'm actually like riveted. And I hate to use that word because I sound like a flaming homosexual when I say it. But when I read the Witcher books, some of them were good, some of them sucked. When I read Lord of the Rings first time, I was hooked, but it was definitely very lengthy, very wordy, The Dune series, something about it, like, I don't want to go to bed at night. I just want to keep reading, So for me, watching like everything coming out about Dune, the actors, the cast, I don't know. I have no faith.
To show someone
I have no faith in modern Hollywood.
It is like this.
Oh my god, Lucia.
You can point to.
So
say,
good.
Hey man, I love you. this many
It is
dollars
so
worth.
good, man.
I am having a blast on the new Palworld 1.0. It's the GOAT. Game of the century.
I don't know about Game of the Century, but I would not be mad. I would not be mad if they retroactively gave it Game of the Year because it's now the full 1.0 release, no longer early access. Like, I wouldn't even be mad. I know Crimson Desert, and I'm going to love Mortal Shell 2, and I think Lords of the Fallen 2 is coming out. There's a lot of games people would rather have be Game of the Year. Silk Song, was that last year, Silk Song? I think Silk Song was last year. Fall, right? I think it was last year. EVE Online over Palworld. And yeah, there's other better games out there too, but Palworld, something about it, I am beyond hooked. Like, literally beyond hooked. I can't even make if I start playing it, like if I need to work on something else and I start playing it, nothing else is getting done. I didn't watch any of the Dune movies. So I went into the Dune books with a completely clean slate. Didn't watch the Dune 80s films, didn't watch the new Dune movies. I have gone through the first 2 books of Dune with only a couple of the characters I knew. Timothée Chalamet was playing Paul Atreides, and a few other people I've seen in images or whatever. I was basically going with a clean slate, you know? I've never watched anything about Palworld. So, Plix, it is a crafting survival, pal capturing game. It's like Ark where you can capture other dinosaurs and stuff, but it's so good. And my daughter, she walked in, I was playing it the other day, and she's like, this looks like a mobile game. I'm like, no, but you don't understand. I don't care. It's awesome. I bought it with the Enshrouded bundle. So I started playing Enshrouded when I got the free key, and Enshrouded's good. I prefer Valheim, like massively prefer Valheim to Enshrouded. But Palworld is like, it takes the best elements of a lot of other games like Ark, Enshrouded, Valheim, even Minecraft, if you will, because, crafting survival games, it's at some point they're all somewhat similar. Plix, here's the thing. You gotta be okay with the fact that it looks like Pokemon. It looks kind of like a more childlike game, but just the progression is so fast, and there are so many things to do, and so much with the management of your pals, and so much difference between them. It gets better when you get into the later zones. I'm sure it does. I'm not shitting on Enshrouded. Don't get me wrong. Something Enshrouded has going for it that I don't like about Palworld, Enshrouded, you can literally, it looks like from what I've seen, from what I've played, if you want to dig for a tunnel from here to there, you can. Palworld, you can't do that. Water Zone itself is Game of the Year. Yeah, I haven't gotten to the Water Zone yet. Oh, I asked you how I was doing. My whole PC froze and I had to restart. Oh my god. Hopefully it's better than Angels. And Lucia, thanks for the 5, buddy. Appreciate the hell out of you, man. DB Wild said, who knew Guy Ladriel liked it so deep in the pooper? That's what she's going to get with him. Oh my god. All right, so the quote from Empire about Rings of Power says, the elf lord is a, quote, lover boy, Bauer tells Empire, teasing a romance with Galadriel. This idea of longing and yearning is so pervasive. Now, for anybody who's not a normie who actually read the Lord of the Rings books, the Silmarillion, who's actually looked into like the old writings of Tolkien, Celeborn was not one of the original elves from Valinor, I believe, but he was a born on was he born in Middle Earth? I can't remember. He was a very powerful Second Age elf. I believe he destroyed the Fortress of Barad-dûr. He fought in the War of the Ring. Like, he was a badass, okay? I yearn for yarn. Hey, Carissa, how's it going? Had any problems with my 9060? I have not. I've had 0 problems with my 9060. Like, I am happy as can be with my 9060. Now, I got the 16 gig version, so for me, that was kind of I wasn't going to compromise on that. By teasing a romance, they mean tapping the mushroom head on the rim of the back door. Oh my god. You with all the gay shit, man. Yeah, so my biggest issue with the entire thing is the fact that they've already bastardized the entire storyline by having her have this whole thing with frickin' Sauron, where they're trying to be like romancing, he's the villain, she's the hero, but they're trying to have this like forbidden love shit, and it's like, she's married to this other elf who's been around for hundreds if not thousands of years. John, you're not helping. Surprise Rings of Power is still going. Season 2 was somehow worse than Season 1. I'm not even kidding. And the most interesting thing about the entire show, here's the worst part of Rings of Power, and I'll be watching it because I have Amazon Prime anyways, so I might as well. Here's the worst thing about Rings of Power. The best character is Gandalf, who didn't even exist in the Second Age. He wasn't there. So if that's the best thing your show has going for it, and it's a literal fuck-up bastardization of the lore, yeah, there's problems there. So, oh my god, this is so me. Never been irked by emojis until now. Oh my god. Dude watching the air bubble slowly work its way down his tube. This is me anytime I've been in the hospital or had any sort of medical shit done. You guys remember I've told that story about how a couple years ago I got a CT scan and I felt like my arm was going to explode because of how they put the IV in when they injected the dye? Yeah, I denounced the Rings of Power in the name of Father J.R.R. Tolkien. I mean, you and me both, dude. This is legit. Anytime I get a shot or when I do the injections for my Crohn's medication, I always like tap the needle. I'm always worried about that bubble just sitting in there. They want to write gray characters who are not good or evil. Yeah, Lugia, the hardest part has been for them to realize that nobody... Look, you can have the anti-hero. You can have the guy who's the villain, but you're rooting for him because he's not as bad as the other villain. But you're still not saying the character's good. You're rooting for him because he's going to go kill the worst villain, right? Wonderful idea from Clownfish with all the race swapping. That should make a spin-off of Lord of the Rings with Sam Jackson and Gandalf the Black. Comes back a third time. Oh my god, that would actually be funny. Unironically, a lot of that kind of like parody stuff, because it's doing it like it's very much taking shots at itself and it's doing it tongue-in-cheek. It actually is a lot of times better than the original material. Elliot Page's Gollum. Oh my god. No. So that was one that I saw also. Apparently Elon Musk is trying to get someone's trying to get him to give Mel Gibson $100 million to remake The Odyssey. It's like, guys, we didn't need to remake The Odyssey in the first place. The biggest problem with the modern Odyssey movie is it didn't need to be done. Especially if you weren't going to make it based off the book, actually based off the book. What the hell's the point? Oh, it's my interpretation. It's a modern... Who cares? Then don't make it. That's the biggest problem it has. Make a movie about the children of her and instead of making crapping non-existent lore. Yeah, dude. Okay, John. But that would require people who actually knew the stories and were willing to do the research. All right. Who tagged me on this on Discord? Somebody sent this to me, I think, or posted on Discord. I cannot remember. But this is one of the worst things I have ever seen. So, guys, I'm going to tell you. Where it says here on the caption, it gets worse, don't scroll. I'm not even kidding. It truly does get worse. And at face value, this doesn't look bad. But you got to give it a couple minutes, okay? So here you go. I don't know if there's actually talking or not. I'm on board so far. You got butter, brown sugar, marshmallows, and peanut butter. That's a good time for me.
Alrighty, now that I've got all my ingredients here.
Sugar feeds cancer.
I am just going to stir this together well to combine.
Yeah, but it's like peanut butter caramel here.
1 stick of butter. You can do salted or unsalted. 1 pack of our Jet Puff marshmallows. We've got a cup of smooth peanut butter. And
she's not using that chunky shit either, which is good. Smooth peanut butter is way better.
Sugar. Of course, that's optional. It just depends on how sweet you want this delicious treat to be. This is a very Midwestern take on a classic American.
Managed to go towards a movie about the first Jewish-Roman War, not another Odyssey. Oh man.
All right, now
looks
that
like curry.
Got this all smooth and combined, I'm actually going to turn my heat off. All
right, hang on. Who has seen this already? Because the next thing is probably going to make you go WTF. All right. For what I thought she was making with this shocked the shit out of me. This doesn't look like Doctor Doom versus the Council of Kings. No, it's not. Be streaming live at my butthole care of the VA to only a special few, so cancer's been mine. Hey, Plix, I have been there. I probably need to go have another colonoscopy because it was usually once a year for me, and it's been a couple years. But I've been there, dude. Mine was more because the Crohn's disease, but you know, cancer is always one of those things they worry about with that too. Hydrogenated oil in the creamy spreads is massive. Oh, dude, nobody should eat it. I'm not saying that this is healthy. I'm just saying this right here, it looks like any, school treat that you get at some sort of like bake fair or whatnot.
Add in 1 teaspoon of
Oh, you got a little bit of vanilla. Okay.
There we go. And a touch of freshly ground sea salt.
I could live without the salt, but whatever.
Stir. And now we are ready.
No, not gravy. It's melted. It's like peanut butter caramel sauce. It's brown sugar, butter, peanut butter, your usual stuff. Marshmallows. Just to feel loved. Is that the only time you feel loved, DB? I guess you need a little salt. I do season my food with a little bit of salt. I try to not use much at all, though. Will this dish give me AIDS? No, John, because you're not going to eat it. You're not going to eat it. Just wait.
For the star of our show.
Here it comes.
Y'all, I've got my Cheez-Its here.
Hey, Patriot. Oh, my God.
I'm probably going to put about half of that in there to start. And we're going to start folding this in. And you might think, well, that's interesting with the kind of brown sugar peanut.
Patriot, I think somebody posted this either on Discord or somebody sent it to me on Twitter. I cannot remember. That could be interesting. Dude, I can't even. So it's peanut butter, brown sugar, butter, and marshmallows with a little bit of vanilla, melted all together like a caramel sauce. And then it's got Cheez-Its in it.
Butter caramel taste along with our Cheez-Its.
I bet you.
But you know, at Christmas time, you get that popcorn that is the caramel.
Not just not procreate. Some people shouldn't have internet access.
The cheddar. And
it's savory and sweet with its sharp cheddar. Okay, but you got to see the finished product, all right? So this
that
here you
comes
go.
In the tin.
I'm just going to skip ahead because she puts it in the oven. And so puts it in like a marshmallow treat, like a Rice Krispie treat, right? Put some chocolate chips and peanut butter on it, then bakes it. So this is it straight out of the oven. Just
the fridge for about an hour to everything to set. Look at how beautiful our peanut butter is looking. Those chocolate chips. We've got our marshmallow and our Cheez-Its, of course. Kind of just that best.
That looks like you'd be eating a brick of Cheez-Its
at Christmas. Woo.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan of Cheez-Its. I don't eat mini crackers, but I like Cheez-Its.
This is gonna be a little bit of okay.
Stoner cereal, mini Funyuns, and tomato soup. Damn. You'd try this for real? Oh man.
Ooh yeah.
Ah.
Wow. Those marshmallows are thick. Check that out. All right, Marty, you get to be my guinea pig for this one.
Excellent.
Guinea pig, so has she not done this before? Cooking is a lost art for sure.
Peanut butter, cheddar,
Oh,
sweetness.
so good. I had to bite from the back.
Y'all,
So good.
you gotta try it.
Like, okay. I can imagine, I understand what Wise Ass Duck is saying, like the flavor combination, the sharp cheddar with the sweetness. Maybe I can understand like as a flavor combination. Eating a gooey, dried out chunk of Cheez-Its? No. I couldn't possibly make myself eat that. There's just no way. And I've eaten some weird shit. Like I've done some weird stuff for challenges in the past. Like that's just, I don't know. She's about to have a gushing O from her first bite. Oh my god. This is a weird one. I've seen this one. I actually haven't enlarged the video because I can't believe it's real. It's got to be AI. It's a bear up an actual like telephone pole here. I unwashed coochie challenge. Not that. No.
I know. I'm on Highway 56.
Are you calling about a bear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's on the power pole.
Yeah, it's alive.
Yes, just leave it be.
Okay.
And because I already called the Game and Fish, and they said there's nothing that they could do. They could go and shoot it, like tranquilize it to get it down, but it's gonna end up, if they do that, then it's gonna fall and could hurt itself. So they told me that.
The thing is panting like crazy. It's like it's got to be I don't know how it would be stuck up there unless it got impaled on something. Some things work when they shouldn't, I imagine. This is what happens when a bear gets into a weed farm. This could legit happen. Okay, but why is it not coming down, though, is the question. Look, I'm making a Kit Kat dessert, and then one of the ingredients is Kit Kat bars for $60. Yeah. Like yellow mustard on vanilla ice cream. To be fair, vanilla ice cream is one of those things, like vanilla is a very neutral flavor. So it kind of works for other things that you wouldn't normally expect. It might be getting a nice tingle. Well, I'm just looking at how its feet are, how its legs are. I'm like, how is it even holding itself up? It's standing on the line right there, it looks like. I don't even know. These kind of situations are unbearable. The thing is, anytime I see shit online like this anymore, my first question is it AI? Is it real? Okay. Amiri King says, I was about to make fun of this dude too. This is, if you could do this shit, yeah, why wouldn't you? Here you go. Turn this down a little in case it's loud. Ah, we're good. This is even better. Dude, that sound is so satisfying. I didn't watch this with sound earlier. That is amazing. The bear ended up dying and just moved right, ended up hitting the hot wires and electrocuted itself. Oh my god. That's terrible, man. As if one wasn't cool enough. This is like those weird videos where you go, how did you think I should be able to do this? I want to know how to do this, you know? What was the moment where you're like, this is my life goal, is I have to accomplish this? No, I mean, Patriot, it sounds like a lot of people actually called it in and stuff, like there were actual reports about it. And then, of course, when would there be a situation in real life where you'd have to do that, you know? Oh, no, Musha in real life. Yeah, my house is being broken into. Here, both of you stand side by side so I can do this really cool move I've been working on for 10 years. It's a magic bear that knows teleport. Yeah. Sadly, it doesn't know it has mana to cast it only once. Oh my god. That's just terrible. You get one of these for that. Where's it at? Zombie infestation. I mean, but are you of the mind that zombies would be like really retarded and not like run fast at all? Or do you think they'd actually be moving like, let's see, Resident Evil, they move slow. Is it the other one that I'm thinking of that they move really quickly? I can't remember which one it was. Let me see. Some are waiting for years to use their samurai on a home invader. Dude, honestly, I would be in that same boat. I don't want anybody breaking into my house. Like, to be fair, that's one of my like all-time fears is like home invasion shit and all that. I'm way more comfortable with the idea that if I'm out in public and someone attacks me, I'll just defend myself. It's not a big deal. I don't want someone breaking in my house in the middle of the night where I have to get up and deal with it, you know? Left 4 Dead, yeah. If it's not slow zombies, I'm opting out of the... Why would you opt in the first place, though? Hammering a nail up your nose. I did not listen to the don't try this at home. Well, that's on you, man. What if it's Harry Dresden? Harry Dresden. Why do I know that name? Okay, so this is pretty cool. I saw this earlier today. I know there's been a lot of Xbox news. A lot of people not happy with a lot of the decisions that have been made. Introducing Xbox backward compatibility on PC. Play 4 original Xbox titles across supported PCs and handhelds today with more on the way. The one I'm actually retardedly excited about is this. Did you guys ever play Fusion Frenzy? It's like a party game. It's a set of a whole bunch of different games. There's one on there, I think, called Twisted System. That's like a turbine that you're running on, and basically it speeds up the longer you survive, you and your friends. It just keeps getting faster and faster and faster. It is so good. I don't know how many hours I played that stupid thing for. Hey, geek. Dresden's a wizard detective. Zombie apocalypse scenario is among my favorite of apocalypse scenario. I don't have a... Why would you have... Okay, if you're talking from like an entertainment standpoint, like, okay, I like to watch zombie movies or video games or books or whatever, fine. I don't want to be in an apocalypse at all of any type. Yeah, geek, I went ahead and iced mine today because it was like freaking 95 degrees. So I did my berry herbal tea with ice. But it's herbal, so I shouldn't be up all night. Well, fingers crossed, we'll see. Conquer itself is the only game out of the 4 that's worth replaying. Who wouldn't want to live a post-apocalyptic dystopia? I got news for you. You're already living in one. Or whatever he says off Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, honestly, I'm good with running water and electricity. I really don't want to live in a apocalyptic hellhole. I had 2 of the 4. Although I don't think I ever played Crimson Skies, although I'm pretty sure one of us had it when I was a kid. Fusion Frenzy is the one that I would absolutely love. Yeah, exactly, Fusion Frenzy. For real. Movies only show stupid people and dumb decisions during a... Dude, that's all like horror films and all that shit, though. How to make homemade Okay, I am not an engineer. I would have to like take what knowledge of certain things I have and go offer my services to somebody else, because I'm like, look, I've got the weaponry, I've got a decent amount of like, not even survival training, but just in general know how to do certain things. But I need somebody that actually knows how to like treat wounds. I need somebody who can actually build things. I need somebody who can actually do like medical. Like I don't have those skills, you know? I got a shitload of ammo that'll last for a while, but that's about it. Bullets run out eventually, but I have enough to last for a while. Plus I could like battle ready medieval weapons. That is something I need to add more of. I only have 1 battle ready sword. I have a couple that are props that would never survive. One that's actual battle ready though. Oh, Mech Assault. I had Mech Assault. I never played it. The games didn't peak until 360? Yeah, for real. I remember my first Xbox, I only played like Morrowind and Halo and a couple other things on. I didn't play much else on there. But this is cool. Asha Sharma, who I've got mixed feelings on. I'm starting to try to be hopeful, but I know I'm going to get screwed in the long run. Said new tech shouldn't mean leaving behind old games. Today, Xbox is launching new tech so you can play the OG Xbox games you own, but now on PC and handhelds. Was the first Fable on the original Xbox? Patriot, I've slept since then. If it was, then yes, I played that one too. Would? Well, not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of Indian chicks, but she's not bad looking. I remember Golden Axe. That was a nice game back in the day. Golden Axe I heard of, but I never played. Okay, so yeah, the first Fable then I played on the original Xbox. Maybe they don't seek brains, they seek testes. Would you get pause if the zombie started... DV, I swear to God, you need some sleep, man. This is what happens when you're on, like, no sleep. Oh, even better, we got Alana Pierce. So we're going to go from Asha Sharma to Alana Pierce. Basically... slobbering all over PlayStation's knob saying, well, yeah, guys, come on. This was the smart decision for Sony to go, completely digital. Says, no amount of petitioning will change Sony's position on physical discs. I do not think petitioning and public backlash will work here at all. After the announcement was made, Sony's stock climbed 7%. Despite all the outrage, it was a significant success. I don't think Sony will see consumer spending go down as a result of this news. People are financially supportive of this. I mean, if we're talking about people that just consume because they're told to be a good little consumer and then they just turn around and buy it, yeah, there will be a lot of wood times 2. There will be a lot of people, especially Sony fanboys, who just continue to consume, who have no problem with it. Begging to get hired again, should have used her knee pads instead of spouting nonsense. She'll still get work. Alana Pierce is never going to not have work. Unfortunately, there are some people who just, they're in, and until the entire industry crumbles, they're safe, Is she still banging the Indian from Saros, or she moved on to the next one? I don't keep tabs on Alana Pierce, so I don't know. I haven't heard anything on social media about her and him breaking up, but to be fair, they're not exactly like a high-profile relationship, so... They want to demoralize you, stop giving them money, and that, I know there's others. Well, but Tekla, you got to convince the Sony fanboys to stop giving them money. I can easily 100% live the rest of my life and never buy another Sony-owned, published, studio-published, developed game for the rest of my life. Any studio that Sony owns, any game they publish, I could literally live without and be just fine. But good luck convincing the, 90 million PS5 owners out there not to continue buying the same shit. One of those chicks that would look absolutely great with her face shoved into a... Oh my gosh. I can't believe I almost read that out loud, man. Oh my god. See, I'm not as tired as you, but it's been a long couple days. My daughter, her team starts their state tournament pretty soon here. And that's Seattle area. And I'm like, oh my god. I just need this whole thing to be over. Like, I'm glad that they're succeeding and that we're moving on, but like, oh, we're wild today, dude. I think it's sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation brings out the best and the worst in everybody. DB Wild the Conqueror. He's something, all right. Sony has their hands in so much they don't have to worry about. Still, they need to learn that their money cannot buy gamers. But their money can buy gamers. It's just a specific type of gamers is the problem. Kind of like how you have the Nintendo fanboys also, and we're going to get into that in a minute here, about the whole Palworld Pokemon thing. This is my best? Oh my god. Been fasting for 2 days. For me, it's been a long couple of days. Yeah, that would not work for me. I was asking somebody about it. I think it was Clean over on Twitch, because he had somebody in his chat mentioning fasting or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm on a water fast for the next day and a half. I'm like, you look like you weigh 150 pounds. Why are you fasting? And I guess some people say it helps reset the metabolism, or I don't know if it's like the same effect as a colon cleanse or some shit like that. Like, I don't know. For me, if I don't eat, I will die. So, much late, as the former kids used to say. Hey, Oblivion. It's not your fault. I've been super inconsistent. If I didn't even show up, none of you guys would be like shocked at all. You'd be like, well, of course, we didn't expect you to be here. Eat 2 pizzas daily. Oh my god. That's probably not great for you, but at least you're eating, you know? No, that's the thing for me. Having the high metabolism, I have to eat or I always feel like shit. It's the craziest thing. Oh, here's another interesting piece. Let me get back over here a second. Yearly fast is good for the body, helps the cells to repair. That was something I heard they were talking about. Something about the cellular restarts everything or some shit. I don't know. I do it regularly to prove I won't die from starving. Who are you proving it to? Are you proving it to yourself or somebody else, though? That's the question. I tried fasting once. I went to the hospital the next day. I think you probably didn't do it properly. I fast once a month, but I do it for God. I mean, that is the thing. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not. Religious fasting has always been a thing, and I've always wondered about it. And I'm like, so when you go to church and there's that person who's normally pleasant and they're a complete raging asshole, maybe they're fasting. I don't know. Oh, that's cool, Plix. If you don't eat much, then you won't have to fix the stomach and intestinal walls that much. I eat a lot. Despite my svelte, wiry frame, I eat a lot. Once every couple months. I fast once a week. Used to be once a day, but honestly, just too lazy. All right. Speaking of fapping, Jennifer English, known for her roles in Baldur's Gate 3 and Expedition. You like that segue? Expedition 33 announced on her Instagram story that she's stepping away from her role in Tides of Annihilation in order to focus on her physical and mental health. Basically, people have kind of like weeded through the back alleys of this weird sordid situation. And Jennifer English, who's been in everything. She's the one that was talking about her queer joy when they won the Golden Joysticks Award, I think it was. She and her girlfriend, I guess, were both doing the voice acting in this game, and they're saying they broke up, and so there's some weird shit there. But basically, guys, Tides of Annihilation is no longer going to be eligible for Game of the Year because she's not going to be voicing a character in it. So she got fat. Who were we talking about? Jennifer English? Angels, here's the thing. I don't play a lot of games that she has voice acted in, and I don't personally pay that much attention to voice actors. However, Jennifer English was very good in Expedition 33 as the character Mael. I thought she did a really good job. Beyond that, the whole thing with that and talking about how because she's gay, she could play this little 15-year-old girl really well, and then going on to do Ex Voto, and it's like, yeah, I'm kind of over Jennifer English. Like, I'm a little over it, you know? Don't know, so don't care. Plix, she voiced Bianca in the greatest game of all time. You have to know Jennifer English. Come on. It was geek. It was better when we didn't know. And Jennifer English is another one of those chicks like Alana Pierce. See chat above. Oh my god. Disavow entirely. I love when celebrities brag about not needing to work for a living. Very grounded. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that honestly like, imagine if I could just tell you guys, it's one thing like YouTube's not my job. I make a few bucks a month from YouTube. I wish it was more. It is what it is. I don't have time. But like my real life job, imagine if I told you guys, yeah, I'm having a bit of a rough month. Mentally not there. I'm having a bad mental health month. I'm taking a couple months off from work. My bills will still be paid. Everything's fine, you know? Lesbian call herself gay just has too much penis envy. Well, I mean, she's a lesbian. So at least I can look at somebody who's a lesbian and go, okay, so she hates men. With women that call themselves bisexual, I'm like, you're not gay. But just stop. You're straight with, you know, I think I said this on Twitter the other day, being a woman and calling yourself bisexual just gives yourself a license to be promiscuous, is all it is. Every day is my time of the month. Oh my God. Helen Page was once a lesbian too. Yeah, and then her ex-wife or her wife divorced her or whatever because she's like, I don't want to marry somebody with a penis. So Bianca the villain. Was she though? I mean, it's one of those things where I want to look back and go, yeah, Bianca was terrible, but I didn't like Aita either. So maybe Bianca was right to want to murder Aita. I don't know. She also dated men. Well, there you go. Then she's not gay. All right. Moving on. Speaking of dating, this is a perfect segue. Hey, good morning, Empress. The weirdest and shouldn't be surprising at all thing I've seen on the internet this week. Here is a YouTube clip from 2 years ago that recently popped back up on my feed. And you'll understand why if you've been paying attention to anything online very, very soon here. This is from 2 years ago, okay? Just keep that in mind.
Big reveals incoming. I actually I downloaded Final Fantasy 14 again, and I logged on and I played it a little bit. And that girl, Kaisi, really flipping wanted me to log on, and I finally logged on. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll log on. I'll just flipping. I'll play with you, right? I'll log on at least to add you to friends list.
And boobs.
And so
probably fake boobs.
She's like, that's
which
great.
for me
Now
is
that
a
you're on,
hard pass.
I want you to come to a flipping nightclub. And I was like, what?
Bro, you literally interviewed ERPers who put you on a cross.
She's like, yeah, you're gonna come to this club, but they have a dress code, but it's okay because I already picked out clothes for you.
All right, Plexi, do what you gotta do, man.
The worst thing about it is that she took 30 screenshots of it too. But to be fair, I did record her. I did the gold saucer.
Oh, Patriot. She's like an OnlyFans chick. Yeah. No, it's intentional, 100%. She's marketing her body.
Little challenge with her, the jumping challenge, and she couldn't finish it. So I actually started recording just to watch her fall off over and over. Literal jumping god. Where it be at?
All right. So this was from 2 years ago. I had never heard of this chick before. Like I said, I don't hang on Asmongold's every word. I don't keep tabs on who he's dating or whatever. Power of the pussy we lost him. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's over, boys, because now apparently he and this chick are an item, and the entire internet is losing their mind. Look, I don't care either way. He's disgusting and filthy rich. I take his opinions with a massive grain of salt, and I agree with maybe 40% of what he says. And she's just basically a digital prostitute, right? And for them, it works. You know, America is Satan after all. Yeah, no, he's disgusting. Yeah, the last one he was dating was an even larger ethot, right? And Patriot, I don't know if it's OnlyFans or Fansly or whatever the website is. That I didn't bother to go look. But the point is, Asmongold has no problem with it because he's advocated in the past that he's totally okay with women prostituting themselves. Every woman that he ever dates apparently is an ethot or whatever. So for him, it works. It's a transactional thing, if nothing else. Robot Head said a rare early photo of John Lennon and Yoko Ono in their first flat together. Oh my God, in 1968. That is hilarious. Only reason I kind of like Asmongold is that he reminds me of Joe from Joe's apartment. I think the roaches actually help him around the house. Oh my god. Okay, so this is the first snippet of this I saw. They were having steaks together. He was making her his $2 steak, or whatever he calls it, $3.50 steak and potatoes. Mind you, watching him chew it, it was like painful because it looked like it was the like driest piece of meat I've ever seen. Like this right here, okay? This is not the face of somebody that's enjoying what they're eating, all right?
It's one of my best steaks. Probably top 1,000 steaks. You want
Like,
the A1? You want the A1 sauce?
There's no way that's even edible. Mind you, apparently she also found a cockroach in the fridge. And at this point, I think that that's kind of a... It's got to be staged, right? It's got to be a joke. Like, nobody actually has a cockroach in their fridge, right? Please tell me no one actually has a cockroach in there. If I could train cockroaches like you teach crows to bring you shit. Yeah, apparently why is that stuck? It was just the head of the cockroach in the fridge. All right. Empress, it's vile. And then the first clip was from like a week ago. She came into his streaming room while he was streaming and announced that he left like a giant turd stain in the toilet or something. My ex-female fiance had roaches everywhere. Oh my God. Ugh. Okay. I've had ants because, you know, the sugar ants, the moisture ants, they could try to sneak inside. If you have any sort of like little spill or something, like a little brown sugar gets in your pantry, you open it up and you see this like little pile of them. The turd stain one was a solid meme for sure. Yeah, that was crazy. Like, she's like, you've got the biggest dookie stain in your toilet. I'm like, imagine having his size audience and having some girl announce that to the entire world, you know? Oh, it pissed everybody off. It was the funniest thing. It pissed off like Hassan. It pissed everyone's like, how is this possible? 9/11 to those who desperately wanted Asmongold to be an incel. I mean, whether or not this thing is transactional or legit, I really don't care. It's gross, it's disgusting, and it's funny. And it's great all at the same time. People hated him already. Now they're going to hate him. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't really move the needle for anybody. It breathes through his body. Wait, a cockroach can survive with no head, but will eventually die of starvation. Oh, it doesn't need its brain to survive? Good God, that's insane. Cockroaches are disgusting. Oh my God, here you go. Here, Empress, you need another reason to be grossed out. Here you go.
Did not wash your hands.
I did.
You know how I know you never wash your hands? I can say it. I don't want another shitgate.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
So the same day I saw the dookie stain, I was gonna go pee. I saw 2 bottles of hand wash there, completely full. One of them, I actually opened it. You know how you have to do the little twisty thing to open a hand soap?
Can we talk about this kitchen for a minute? My old apartment was like the cabinets from like the 1970s and shit. Like, it needed to be remodeled really bad. This, look at that hood. Look at this freaking hood right here. This is like from the 70s or the 80s. Like, does this thing even still work? Like, holy shit, man. I get that doesn't want to waste his money, but my God.
I opened it.
When we'll date any guy if they have money? Yeah, for real.
What is it for? Why is it just sitting there? You're not even using it.
If somebody comes over, they want to wash their hands.
It was brand new.
I try to care for my guests.
We have no idea how she really looks. That is also true. That is 1,000% true. Because honestly, she's got so much makeup on, I have no idea how she actually looks. But that is just honestly kind of funny, kind of wild. Oh, Asmongold addresses his simp status. Says, I know this sounds crazy. I just try to be a nice guy. I try to be generous and kind and supportive, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that you shouldn't try to avoid simping for women. You should try to find women that are worth simping for. I understand what he's trying to say there, but if it's the right woman, you're not simping for her. It just comes from like general care and affection. It's not simping, right? That's terrible advice, in my personal opinion. Yeah, simp. That's not love. It's just weird, exactly. Okay, so here you go. Here was the final clip for you. All right.
Say, she said, she told me, I don't know if, like, she said she wants me to clean up the house. She wanted me to clean up the house. Yeah.
And he's gonna do it.
She
too.
said it's contaminated. And it begins. No, that's number one. She said she wanted me to shower more. And I think there was like one other one I forgot.
So here's the thing. This is the craziest part. Because he's like, what, 35, 40? I don't know how old he is. This is basically one of those relationships where she's becoming his mom. And that's just kind of weird and creepy. Because if your girlfriend comes over and the first thing she starts telling you is, yeah, you need to actually use the soap in your bathroom. Yeah, you need to shower more. Yeah, you need to clean your room. That you're basically dating your mom at that point.
Forgot. She gave me a big
36?
list of
Okay.
things that she wanted me to do. I forgot what the other ones were though. Her boyfriend. There it is. It's always the same, isn't it? Demanding, yeah, to go to the gym. I don't think that was one of them. Israel's trying to compromise you. Why not buy a second house? I will consider. I don't know. Like, there was a house I was gonna buy. I ended up not buying it though. I might do it. Oh, brush your hair. She did say she wanted me to cut my hair shorter, but not like super short. She said like when I played Final Fantasy 14. That was the frame of reference that she used.
Okay, so this has got to be trolling us, but if it's not, you'll know. Because if he actually does any of these things, then it won't be a troll. But basically at this point now, that's kind of the status there. And of course, the entire internet, I've seen people like melting down about this, like, oh my God, women will just have sex with anything. It's like, women like money. Women in that position like money and fame. He has both. Now, if I was a woman, would I want to sleep with him? No. No, I wouldn't. But to each their own in that regard, you know. True, I would still expect some changes. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, it's one thing to be like, okay, you're dating somebody or you're married to somebody and they've got some really bad habits or unhealthy habits or whatever, and you want to try to like help them be better or encourage them to do things differently. It's another thing to start dating someone and instantly be like, okay, I'm gonna have to be your mom now, and you got to clean this mess up, and you got to start showering because you don't take care of that. That's just no. My wife totally acts like my mother, but then again, I am and will always be 5. Sounds like a you problem though. It's not girlfriend material at all. Why would he change for a one-night stand? Well, Geek, apparently this is somebody he's known for a couple of years now. Because again, that video I showed you at the very beginning, that was from 2 years ago. So this is somebody that he has clearly known for a while. Whether or not this is a serious relationship, there's no proof that they're affectionate at all. Like, there's not really, that they're streamers. It is what it is. Remember, I'm stuck a bit. Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. See, at least you have an excuse. I'd like to think I could date for money, so it just goes so strongly against my nature. Batman refused to eat the kid. Oh my God. All right, let's finally get on topic here while it's still not super late. It's only 10:15. Look at that. All right, we got the bullshit out of the way in like less than an hour. All right. I don't like that many women end up in a lot of relationships like that, or seek it or control. Okay, so personal experience here from my former sister-in-law on my wife's side, her brother's ex-wife. When the two of them were together, my brother-in-law and his ex, she was basically his mom. They had like 5 kids together. He couldn't hold down a job. He had an anger issue, temper issue. He was always, getting into trouble, either getting arrested or fighting with people, getting fired. And he was completely useless. He didn't like to be the responsible adult at all. And so his wife, who was a complete and utter piece of shit, she was far worse than he was. She was the one that ended up in the adult role in the relationship. But it was also partly because she was like super scummy and was always doing like underhanded shit. So she wanted to control everything. Hey, Carissa. A brother's cousin's former roommate. I mean, it's a long-winded way of saying it. Who remembers the Snickers commercial when the football player gets knocked hard and the coach asks, "Who are you?" and he says, "I'm Batman"? I do not remember that one at all. It's all fake. It's all a stunt from Asmongold. I mean, it might be. Here's the thing. If it gets people talking about him, then it works in his benefit, right? Did he bang that Emeru girl too? You know, the funny thing, John, is if he ends up, that the relationship with him and this chick actually turns out to be real, then clearly he has a type, because I don't know about his public ex-girlfriends in the past, but Emeru's Asian, this gal's Asian. It's like, huh, interesting. You're right, we should watch Spaceballs. Spaceballs, definitely one of the best, like, comedies of all time. However, I will not be watching the new one. I have no interest in the new one whatsoever. Mod you here? You're never here. Why would I mod you here? Yellow fever, final forms of passport, bro. Not a yellow fever. Okay, as somebody in the past, when I was younger, who definitely liked Asian chicks, I wouldn't even call it yellow fever. There's just, oh my god, Patriot, there's a sequel coming out. I know but you're modded on Twitch. No, David, it's not good. You made this account just for me. You didn't have to. I could see everything on Twitch. White guys, just like Asian girls, they just match our culture. I mean, that's part of it. That is 1000% part of it. Chris, you didn't have to do that. What was I saying, guys? Spaceballs. Spaceballs 2. Yes. So instead of calling it Spaceballs 2, the search for more money. Oh, I just didn't have an account. Oh, okay, gotcha. American Asian, just not the same thing. Everyone has eyes and knows the difference. Wait. Plix, I don't even know what you're trying to say there. Let me scroll back up a second. So the second Spaceballs movie, guys, it's Josh Gad from Frozen and a handful of other things. I don't even know any of the other shit he's been in. He is the one in charge of the film. He's acting in Spaceballs 2, and he's producing it, I think, with Mel Brooks. Her fake voice is so grating. That's the thing, though, dude. I mean, honestly, it's always like the e-thought, OnlyFans chicks types. They're always going to have that fake, I don't know. I hate that. I hate that entire... I mean, the Pirate Software does the same thing. There are guys that do that, too, where they try to, like, put off an image and a presence, and it's like, I could never, I don't know, that's too much of a show. I couldn't do that. It's funny, Cage isn't here tonight, but anytime Cage is like, oh, is there a show tonight? I'm like, I don't call this a show, because I'm not performing. If I was performing, there would be more substance to what we're doing here, you know? If there was an actual show, I'd actually get things, itinerary put together and things talked about in the appropriate time. Hey, QC! If the old rumor about Asian chicks is to be believed, does that mean that mixed Asian Americans have died? You need more sleep, man. I don't even know how to answer that one. Biggest difference between American Asians and Oriental Asians is Oriental Asians live in shame culture. I think we could also end up with a little bit more shame, though, to be honest. Like, a little more shame would be fine. Not being yourself online would be detrimental to your mental health, referring to those girls and in general. I mean, Empress, okay, so I don't know if you ever see all that shit from, like, okay, for example, Kai Cenat, the Twitch streamer. He recently came back from, like, an 8-month hiatus, and he's doing his whole streamer university thing. And the streamer university, from the clips that I've seen, are basically the most retarded, insufferable people on the planet, all put together in one mansion where they're doing a bunch of idiotic, asinine things, all trying to basically, like, use each other's clout and influence to promote themselves, knowing that none of them are going to, I don't even know, is there like a winner of this entire thing? But yeah, so essentially what this is just a bunch of, like, the worst people on the planet all shoved together in a room, all streaming to their audiences, right? And that's the thing, it's all a performance. So every one of these people, they don't know how to act normal in front of a camera, because for them, they're always on. They're always on. You know, it's like It's like the Kardashians. It's like the Real Housewives. It's like any of these reality TV shows. You mean good ruck? Yes. No, I'm serious. Yeah, streamers being idiots. But yeah, exactly. I wasn't talking about shame culture as a bad thing. In my opinion, America began declining in the 60s. People started pushing for less shame. Yeah, we could stand for a little bit more shame. Maybe even if you don't want to call it shame, maybe a little more self-awareness. I mean, a little bit more awareness to the way people perceive you. The way that you are out in public. I don't know. It's crazy. All right, so Marathon showcases a PvE mode after the game's leads exit Bungie. So yeah, when I did my video talking about Marathon's, what's his face? One of the multiple Joes. Joe starts with a Z. I can't remember. He's only been gone like 5 days, and I still can't remember his last name. Ziegler. Joe Ziegler left Bungie. It's been like less than 6 months since the game came out, and he's already out. He's gone. People who see the Odyssey should be ashamed. Here's Slavicon. Here's my take on the entire thing. The Odyssey could have been a decent adaptation, or it could even be an entertaining movie. There's nothing in here that makes me want to go see it. Nothing that I saw in the trailers, nothing that I've seen in the cast, nothing that I've seen in the clips online has it making none of it makes me have any desire to go see it. So I could at least, for example, Empress, Kada, a bunch of other people bought Black Flag or got gifted Black Flag Resynced and had a great time playing it. In the same way that certain people enjoyed like First Light. There are games that neither one looked interesting to me. I don't want to go back and play a reskin remake of a game that I played 20 years ago or 10 years ago, and I don't really have any interest in James Bond games from this point forward. I just don't. They were never something that interested me. It's kind of like superhero games, not something I've ever been a big fan of. But that being said, it doesn't bother me that people are enjoying it. That's irrelevant. I kind of look at the Odyssey the same way. I mean, if somebody who I would normally respect says, hey, I thought it was a decent movie, I would say, okay, fair enough, you enjoyed it. No big deal. I'm still going to make fun of it because there's still the shit in it that looks cringe and looks awful. But there was never anything that gave me any desire to go see it. Nothing about it looked interesting to me. So for everybody that went into it knowing they weren't going to like it, to go see it only to say, yeah, it sucked, I hated it. It's like, well, here's the thing. I can watch Rings of Power at home when it comes out and kind of like binge hate it, but I'm already paying for Amazon Prime. So it's not going to cost me a dime out of my pocket to I'm not going to go to a theater and spend $80 to take myself and a couple of people to go see it. You know what I'm saying? Odyssey is a crime against history and culture and many more things. I mean, fair enough. But for me personally, I kind of feel the same way about both. That's all. That's kind of my entire point about it. So I'm not going to be over here raging, how dare you go see... No, for me, it's just not something I want to watch, But you also have to accept that other people at the same time are going to not like it or not want to see it or going to want to make fun of it. You better like what most of them like, lest you'll be shunned, picked on, or some of your chatters will attempt to debate their opinion. Oh no. Okay, you're right, DB. I should go back to that. I better make sure I cater my opinions to be exactly what everybody else says in the chat. So guys, even if you guys hear me change my opinion, I'm going to agree with everything you guys say from now on, okay? Just keep that in mind. Sony has committed to Marathon. That was their first mistake. The online multiplayer live service game from struggling studio Bungie, and the company may have finally found a way to reverse its fortunes. Apparently I can't read. Yesterday, Marathon debuted a PvE mode, albeit an experimental one. I love when they do this. You guys remember High Guard? Does anybody remember High Guard? I was there. I remember it. Pepperidge Farm remembers. High Guard did that experimental 5v5 mode to try and solve every problem that they created themselves with that game in one game mode. Like, okay, if we just make it 5v5, that'll fix everything else. The pacing is still the same. Everything about it's still the same, but that'll fix it, right? And it didn't. But they called it experimental at first, I'm still going to play Saboteur for now. I just have so much fun with it. Then I'll return to Black Flag. I downloaded the original Black Flag on my computer the other day. I was going to start playing it. If you're agreeing with what everyone says, then you're a penis fanatic, right? Yes, I love penises. Just my own, but that's it, yeah. Odyssey was written by a Greek about Greeks, not every other race in the world. See, Slavicone, here's the thing. here's the thing about that. Yes, I agree with you. And the thing where people split hairs and want to play like, the straw man argument is like, oh yeah, well, you know that what's his face in 300 wasn't Greek, right? Gerard Butler's not Greek in real life. And it's like, okay, you guys are missing the point. There's one thing to be like, yes, the actors who are in a movie featuring a bunch of Greek characters aren't all ethnically Greek. You got us. But you can still believe that they roughly resemble somebody who might have been Greek. It's that, how far do you need to suspend your disbelief in order just to get through a movie? And that's the thing, that's the conversation these people will never have. Because they look at you and go, well, these guys aren't Greek, so why are you complaining about a black person? Because these people at least look closer to the Greek than the black person does. It's not racist. It's just reality, you know? Oh, dude, the current devs here are... I actually came across one of these current devs on Twitter by chance. Not even somebody that's even named, like, in any of these credits and stuff, just somebody who's like an environmental artist, and I'm like, yeah, complete wacko. That you would know the type just by looking at them. They're crazy. Black person can play a white person if they can pull off whiteface. I wouldn't even care if they did that. That's the craziest part. I don't even care. You know? Don't even care. Chat has so many different opinions. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to swing every which way with my opinions. But if you apply their own logic, they have to be Greek. Well, that's the thing, though. Oh, the high guard thing? Yeah. High guard. Sorry. It's gotta be high guard. Nolan had a chance to solidify himself as great, and this drags his whole career down. He'll never be remembered for being great, which is funny. I don't care about the adaptation. Here's the crazier part about it. I'm not like a big Chris Nolan fan. Come to think of it, I've seen like 2 movies he's made. I've seen all 3 of the Batman movies. And then beyond that, I'm struggling to think. I saw Inception. Inception was good. The Prestige, I thought was okay. Never watched Tenet. Never watched the rest of the Nolan films. So I just don't care. Slavicon, the other thing about that too is they're like, well, it's only one of the 4 categories for an Oscar, but it's still an important one because you have to get 2 of those 4 categories to qualify. So it's an instant qualifier if you have a diverse cast. So that is one of the 4 criteria. You can try to go from the other 3 categories and not use the diverse cast. That's another option. But it's a lot easier just to have like a diverse cast to start with to qualify for the Oscars, because then you're already halfway there, you know? I never saw White Girls either. I'm probably the only other millennial that never saw White Girls. I know the memes, I know the movies, but I just never watched them. All right, yesterday Marathon debuted a PvE mode, albeit an experimental one, to test this new idea to draw in gamers, and this one worked, or appears to be working, as Marathon more than doubled its Steam numbers after introducing the PvE mode, although the game's lifeline comes after losing its director. So, before we even get any further, let me go Steam charts here. Marathon currently, I'll refresh this just for the sake of being fair. Marathon is currently, did it move back up? Did it go back up? Oh no, sorry, we're on the number 1 page. It's not on the first page anymore. I'm pretty sure it's on the second page. Hang on. Should be floating like a turd in the toilet bowl somewhere. Here you go. Marathon is all the way down at 155th right now. Currently playing at 6,121. So, if you look at the actual peak, when the PvE mode, the experimental, soon to be permanent when they have Season 3 drop or Season 2 in September. I can't remember if we're on Season 2 or 3 for Marathon. It hit 14,700, 14,800 players. So it got close to 15,000. So when they talk about doubling its numbers, tripling its numbers, you have to keep in mind, what they're talking about is they're going from a barely sustainable player base to a slightly more sustainable, but still not sustainable player base, right? None of these things are going to fix Marathon. None of these things are going to fix any of the problems the game has, either conceptually or the problems with the aesthetics, the problem with the entire vibe of the game, the entire gameplay loop, all of it. This was their big comeback. So if you go back a month ago, when they did the free, more than a month ago, 3 months ago here, back in June, when they did the free week, where anybody could play it. Anybody can play the game, right? They hit 40,000 players. That was after their all-time peak when the game first launched of 88,000. And the damn thing has been on a landslide ever since. It's like Highguard, just slightly more built out, but the same decisions are being made. Yeah, it's still bad decision making. I will tell you, Marathon is a better game than Highguard. Highguard did not... there was no thought put into that game. It was like basically you try to take everything that's been out there for the last 10 years and just smush them all into one game. It's like Rainbow Siege, but it's like Apex Legends, but it's like there's mounts, but then there's crafting, but then there's like... it's like what? Highguard. It's like Highguard. Simply directionless. It didn't have an identity. It was so unoffensively bland and stale. So that's where we are with Marathon, with their experimental mode, right? That's the insane part. So, of course, we have more of this vomit-colored video footage that we can take a look at. I mean, it's wild to me that they can't figure out why nobody wants to play this game. Let me switch screens here. It's a little bigger video. Well, because, John, it was unoffensive. It looked better because it was not meant to look like anything. It just looked like a generic fantasy shooting video game. Like, so generic it was painful. Whereas this is the complete opposite. This has an identity, but I want nothing to do with it. Yeah, I never understood all the love for Metaphor Refantasio. People said it was a great game. I never saw enough gameplay of it to make me want to play it. I've got that one on my wish list, I think, on Steam. That Chronos game. Zero interest in Marathon? Yeah. And the funniest thing you mentioned the art about this game, pixel effects and all that. You know, Marathon fanatics will tell you up and down, like, they will swear that this game has the best vibe, the best aesthetic, the best look of any game, the most aura of any game. This is something I saw from a lot of these Marathon shill accounts for months. Has so much aura, so much aura. It's like, the aura, I don't understand. Everything is blocky, everything is pixelated, but then everything is like brightly colored, and then everything else as far as like the inventory items, the UI, everything is so hard to read. None of it matches up. It almost suffers like we were talking about from Highguard, where it looks like too many different people made the game. The coping and seething is insane. I told you guys in my Marathon video, there was somebody who's like, oh, this is going to save Marathon. Now we just need to execute or I can't remember what he said, talking about that Aztec Cross guy, that YouTuber that's like a massive Destiny YouTuber. Basically saying, well, if we just kill him, everything will be better. I mean, John, that's exactly what it is. That's honestly the most people I see online talking about it also happen to have like a little trans flag in their bio. So it's like, I don't know if they were intentionally making this game quote unquote trans coded or trying to make it appeal to a certain audience that identifies a certain way, but it is interesting that they all gravitated towards this game. We tried it the last time, it was free. Either me or my friend could stand it, yeah. Hey, fellow kids. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, DB. Who needs a good game when you got aura? And the funny part, let's see if there's a character skin. I love when they do the character skins and they try to like promote it as looking like super cool. Because every character skin is the same ugly ass design, just with a different boring ass coat of paint on it. At least with Apex Legends, except for the reskins, when they used to do like really cool skins, they would go all out and create a really elaborate, unique skin. Granted, the reskins and everything else, a lot of the like special event skins were ass. But even that being said, there were some really cool ones.
Do I need to be liked? Absolutely not. I like to be liked. I enjoy being liked.
I have to be liked.
To be liked.
Yo, Angels with the 1 month membership subscription or anniversary. God, what's the word? My brain is fried. My brain is cooked. It's over, guys. He's not very smart. His brain doesn't work. Dude, Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Angels. Hey, Cage. I love Biebs. Biebs or boobs? What are we talking about? You love Justin Bieber. People who shill for games aura are the same people who are cheer captains as their cushy coffee drinking job. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the trans gravitated towards this by the horde levels, and it was painful to watch. I couldn't, like, okay, what was it specifically about Marathon? Because we can talk about it. We can talk about Marathon as, like, in the past tense, because the game's essentially dead, right? We can all agree the game is, for all intents and purposes, the game is going to be shut down. It's going to be scrapped, or at least the game is not going to continue. Even, let's say they don't shut the game down. Game's already been developed. They could go the same route that we've seen other live service games where they go, okay, well, the game exists. We can host the servers. That's fine. We have enough healthy player base that we can leave the current market available, the current items and stuff. But at what point do they cut off, like, do the Destiny 2 thing where they cut off the actual updates for it, right? Just leave the game existing as it is. That I could see them doing with Marathon by the end of the year, The characters are transhuman, they're robots, but freakishly. But what is it about being transhuman that would appeal to somebody who's transgender? Transgender is I'm still human, but I think I'm the opposite gender. With transhuman, you're not even thinking you're human anymore. Like that, I don't know. Game industry right now section, that you're so not wrong. Hey, Cage, welcome to the club. We're all half asleep. I think DB's got it the worst, but still. I spent way too long in the car today. Holy crap. Motherfucker calls that a dungeon. What Bungie is hoping for with this PvE mode. Oh my god. I remember that. I remember that touchdown. That was crazy. I used to watch a lot of football. Marathon put this little tweet out there, said it's back, and then I said it's dead, and guess what? I had people telling me that my parents were dead in this post. Not even kidding, because I'm making fun of their favorite video game. This is just the shit that I'm talking about. These people are absolutely insane. Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming saying Marathon should add a 6v6 search and destroy game mode. Paul Tassie's like, honestly, they might. TAD animation for a bomb plant. Oh my god. Are you playing as a shell that you're implanting your conscious into? Yes, and ironically, Slavicone, same kind of concept as that whole Luna Abyss game that ended up being, again, this ideological, like, crazy captured studio where they're all, like, gay, trans, non-binary people and stuff.
It's like the tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey, man, I love you.
You meant to send a message? Oh, it's all good. You didn't have to send $10, dude.
LMAOI meant to type a message but hit send by accident. I was going to say, all I see with Marathon are resources that could have been put towards making Destiny better. F Marathon.
It's funny you mentioned that. And dude, Angels, thank you so much for the 10, buddy. You didn't have to do that. You could have just put that in the chat. I try to read all your guys' messages. It's not like we're swamped and inundated these days. I'm so bad at, like, getting around to streaming that chat's pretty slow. I can typically read everything. But it's funny you mentioned that, because Destiny 2, ever since it was announced that they were going to end service to the game, the numbers for this game, granted, the game's old. I had no interest in it. For me personally, it was never as good as Warframe. Wasn't something that I had any desire to play. Far more players than Marathon, without any other significant update. You had, like, the things where players were rallying to try to get people to play it all together, like this peak right here. This was 167,000. That was, I think, right around the same time as the Monument of Triumph release. Yeah, so you had people coming back there. You got people trying to, like, bring the game back from the dead or whatever. But the game still consistently had more players than Marathon has ever had, which is the most wild thing. If Lunabis didn't have the crazy people shit in it, I've given it a try. Yeah, honestly, Cage, I didn't hate the game. It was a very simple bullet hell type game. It wasn't overly complicated. It wasn't overly difficult. Story was decent enough. Voice acting, except for the main character, ironically enough, was decent enough. It was just kind of that, you start getting that weird feeling as you play through the game. You get to that point in the game and you go, yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of this, guys. It's like, it's one thing to be like, oh, there's a gay character. Okay, well, whatever. But then it's like, oh, by the way, I'm a they, not a she. Oh, fuck off, dude. Like, I can't with these people. He called us slow. I didn't. No, okay. All right. I didn't give Angels a clip. Here we go. Let me do a clip for Angels, since I'm being so mean.
All right, guys. Here comes the shower of support. All right, let's continue. Here we go.
It's funny you mention that, Plix, because ironically, my my neighborhood here had like 10 cop cars lined up. And I live in a really normal, chill, safe place. My community's really chill. None of us could figure out who the cops were talking to or why. And I'm like, WTF, this is weird. I'm out there like checking my mail. I'm making my coffee in my bathroom, walking the dog. Like, why the hell are all these cops out here? And they wouldn't tell anybody anything. They almost got me. Oh, shit. This is what I like to call copium. People have hope, but the publisher has zero desire to continue. Oh, we're talking about Destiny 2. Yeah. Let's be fair. Destiny 2 is not... There's no saving Destiny 2. The game exists as it is, and it's done. What people are hoping for is Destiny 3. And to be honest, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea if that's something that's ever going to be something that Sony approves at this point. So, Polish Tamale says the Hero Marathon deserves, but not the one it needs right now. This is from a Reddit post that says the game should have been only on PS5. Now, I've not read this yet. Does everyone in Seattle have nice gardens because of the rain? I'll tell you, Slavicone, my landscaping, I don't live in Seattle, but I was in Seattle today, and I fucking hate Seattle. I sat in, like, combined going on the I-5 north and south today. I sat in, like, 5 hours of traffic. At one point, I was downtown Seattle waiting on a train just to get on the freeway again. I was losing my mind. But, we do have if you've never been to like Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, parts of Canada, like this whole area, it is green and beautiful. It's the bluest water you'll ever see. It's just, you don't want to really go in the water because it's whatever. You know, it's gross. Fuck Seattle, man. I hate Seattle. It's so bad. Yeah, no, wise ass Doug. Like I said, I have no idea or opinion on whether Destiny 3 is going to happen or not. Slavicone, you're not wrong. I'm not far from Seattle, but I do not live like in a suburb of Seattle. For me, Seattle, it's not too terribly long of a drive. It's not like if I wanted to go to, let's say, California or Portland or some shit like that. We already have Warframe 2. Yeah, but why does that suck? I thought that you said that you didn't think Soulframe looked very good, or was it somebody else I'm thinking of? The more hate, the more love, just negative value. I mean, as far as cities go, Patriot, I don't mind going around the city of Seattle. Like, the city's fine, except for the usual city shit you got to deal with, like the homeless, the druggies, the crackheads, all that kind of stuff. I mean, QC jerks, if you look at where Seattle is on a map, everybody is kind of gay adjacent because it's in the Puget Sound and everything's around the sound. So it's like, no matter if you live an hour and a half west of Seattle or 2 hours north of Seattle or an hour south of Seattle, it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to be near Seattle. Unless you go like way eastern Washington, like towards Idaho or southern Washington towards like Oregon. Is every city in Washington crazy? No, not even close. So one of the larger counties, so you've got in Washington state, you have Thurston County is Olympia, King County is Seattle. Those are like the only two blue counties. Everything else is pretty red. And I obviously like to just kind of simplify it, blue and red. That doesn't mean that one's good and one's bad because a lot of these people are all retarded. It doesn't really matter. Politicians all suck. My point is, you have a lot more like down-to-earth, regular, normal people than you would think in Washington. The problem is that you've got it's basically the control is all Thurston and King County. Like all the other counties tend to be red. The Pierce County Sheriff, Keith Swank, if you ever follow him on Twitter, he's unhinged. He's awesome. He doesn't have any filter at all. They're trying to actually pass a law to retroactively have the ability to remove him if they so choose to, even though he's an elected official. It's a crazy thing. Oh, the mayor's from Seattle. She is the most unfortunate looking human being to ever exist. I see red and blue as soon as I begin driving. Oh my God. They're adding an entirely new solar system to Warframe. Oh, okay. So it's the next expansion of Warframe coming either end of year. Wait, so wait. So besides Soulframe, they're adding on to Warframe also? I didn't know that. That's crazy. Okay. That's something I hadn't seen yet. All right. So it says this game should have only been on PS5. Mind you, of the small percentage of people who are even playing Marathon, 70% of them are on Steam. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Says it's a Sony production and should be a console exclusive. It could have become the flagship title for the PS5, but they decided to put it on PC and Xbox. In my opinion, the game should be played with the DualSense. The keyboard doesn't make you feel like Tau Ceti is in your hands, and it's for sweaty people. Okay, that's fair. Mouse and keyboard is for people who like to go hardcore on shooter games. Only on consoles would also eliminate the problem of numbers visible on Steam. But you'd eliminate 70% of the players. Okay, oh my god. The game would have worked perfectly only on the console for which it was created. Furthermore, the lack of a physical edition has alienated many people. Also, Sony should have blocked Arc Raiders from the PlayStation Store and always featured Marathon. I find it ridiculous. Can you imagine if Sony straight up said, we're not selling Arc Raiders on the PlayStation? Do you know how many... Okay, Arc Raiders has I think it's 65 to 70% also playing on PC. But it sold 15 million copies or something? Right? So, of that, Sony probably got, 3 million? 3 million sales for Arc Raiders? Does that sound about fair? I mean, you want them to give up that many millions of copies of a game sold and all the microtransactions, guys. Every microtransaction. Sony's getting a 30% cut, right? That's kind of the 30% is how it works. So Sony hosts Arc Raiders on their platform. You buy the game through Sony, they get 30%, and then they get 30% of the microtransactions. Oh my god. Okay. Let me see here. If you own a store, do you prefer to sell your own products or those made by someone else? Different argument. That is not the same argument. And then you have to give the money to someone else. Obviously, you prefer to sell your stuff. That argument is not fair because Sony is not buying the game. Ooh, this might be something where I'm out of my depth. Hang on, guys. For a platform like Sony, maybe one of you guys in the chat know. If Sony sells a copy of Arc Raiders, is that a copy of Arc Raiders that Sony has already purchased from the publisher? Or do they not pay the publisher back until they sell the digital copy? We're not talking physical copies. We're talking digital. Obviously, physical, they have to buy the copies ahead of time. Because then there's the whole distribution, putting them in retail stores and all that. But in general, if they have a digital copy of a game on their PlayStation platform, from their store, if they sell a copy of Arc Raiders, for example, is that a copy that they have already purchased, or is the transaction not happened until that point? You guys talking about virtual novels? What is that? There's no way it's consignment? So, okay, so you think that every copy of Arc Raiders that Sony sells on their website, on their platform, has already been purchased by Sony? Hentai related. If you're talking to DB Wild, it's probably hentai related. So Sony has the power and right to overshadow other games to put Marathon in the spotlight, the best extraction shooter ever made. Wow. This is taking Rage Bait to a whole different level. Nicely done. Ironically, being Reddit being what it is, it's got no upvotes and 35 comments. That's pretty wild. That is wild. I hope that is somebody's actual opinion. I really do, because that is insane. Marathon meta has been revealed, and it's people turning the game on, trying it again, and then leaving. Yeah, that's the thing. Yesterday it peaked at under 15,000, and today at the same time it reached 8,600, although it got to 9,000 today at some point. Nearly half have already left in one day. Adult visual... Why are you guys talking about adult visual novels? My god. Fallout 4 right now for comparison. That is crazy. That is absolutely wild. Well, plus Fallout 4 10.5 years ago, 472,000 players. Sony's not buying them, though they may have a contract to take the sales on the first X number of games. Marathon had a pulse for a day and then died again. Yeah, exactly. Marathon's pulse is basically, I don't know, you can just tell that the game has got no life left in it. No, Plix, don't probe his brain. Please don't. So to make matters even worse, because Marathon, Bungie, they can't seem to get out of their own damn way. After all of this, where the numbers are visible, people can see that the PvE experimental mode is not doing what they were hoping it would. Fallout 69 win. Oh my god. You guys have got to be stopped, you know that. Anyways, Bungie has added voice moderation to Marathon as part of the game's latest update. When voice chat is used, audio may be analyzed and recorded if needed to review possible violations of the game's code of conduct. You guys remember, voice chat was one of the things that they weren't even going to have in this game because they thought that proximity chat would be too toxic. Their words, where we can't have voice chat because it'll be too toxic for our players, right? Hang on a second. Oh, she did leave. Never mind. Thought the cat was still in here. Says, we want voice chat to be safer and more respectful for everyone. To support that, we'll be rolling out voice moderation for in-game voice chat. This will apply to crew chat and proximity chat. When the voice chat is used, voice audio may be analyzed and recorded so potential code of conduct violations can be reviewed and addressed. If needed, moderation or enforcement actions may be taken on accounts that break our policies. Do you really think they're going to start banning people? Do you really think they're going to ban people when they got nobody playing their game to start with? I said, these are your comeback numbers and you're worried about naughty words. Yeah, that was yesterday. Wild. You may not like it, gamer, but this is what peak user performance looks like. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. If there's another free-to-play week, I'll join and bombard them with slurs. Now, I would never tell you to do that, but I think it'd be funny if people did that. Just saying. Heels versus Babyface says, no one is playing the game. Bungie, let's moderate the shit out of the few people we haven't driven away yet. That'll keep them happy. All right, Patriot. No worries, dude. I don't know about Palworld. So, it's the same as the whale that you don't know anything about either. It's more of the same shit. It's Pokemon and Nintendo fanboys being unable to comprehend that people like Palworld. So, now that Patriot is done and leaving, we're going to talk about Palworld. See? I'm going to make you have to come back and watch it later. Well, Section, it's not just Bungie. It's not just Bungie, it's Sony in general, it's Nintendo. Microsoft does the same thing with Xbox. We've seen the same shit from all these giant companies, these corporations. They all want to micromanage and mitigate, any possible it's this safe space shit. It's the bubble they want people to live in, It's crazy. It's like, guess what? I'm not all for people like playing games and yelling at people and spamming the N-word, but at the same time, you can just mute someone, right? It's not going to kill you. It's not the end of the world. Games for no one. Got it. Yeah. All right. So from Rager YT, it says, Nintendo is trying to own the concept of throwing a ball to catch a creature. This has been a thing they've been doing for a while. All these patents Nintendo's trying to do because they don't like the success of Palworld, right? That's been an ongoing thing. And people are like, oh, well, Palworld copied Nintendo. And Nintendo copied other games and other, characters and shit too. It's like everybody has copied everything at this point, right? It says, and the Japan Patent Office just rejected them for the second time this month. The examiner said the patent lacks technical originality. The prior art they cited to reject it was a Pokemon fan game. The original lawsuit covered 3 specific patents. Throwing a ball with a success probability indicator to capture a wild creature. Guys, I'm going to be honest. I really wish I was playing Palworld right now. I'm not even kidding. Like, between Palworld and Dune, I need to figure out a way to win the lottery so I can just become a human cockroach, not shower, not do anything, and just sit in my bed or at my computer for like 12, 14 hours a day and just play Palworld or read Dune. If I could figure that out, I'd be happy. I guess I have to take care of the kids too, but whatever. Okay, it says, using directional inputs to aim and launch a capture device at a creature, and real-time switching between rideable creatures. Patent analyst Florian Mueller says Nintendo's amendments leave them with no path to securing meaningful relief against current versions of Palworld. Next court hearing is October 1st in the Tokyo District Court, and verdict expected November. Do you think Nintendo should be able to patent a mechanic this basic? Yeah, no. Absolutely not. I guess this was the video footage here. This is really... Is this like an old Pokemon game? What am I looking at here? What are you guys talking about? I swear to God, Thundercats? Oh my God. I don't want to talk about Thundercats. I know nothing about Thundercats. Oh yeah, Pokemon also forgets that they aren't original and copied an idea. Here you go. Dragon Quest from 1986 and Pokemon from 1996. Now, I can't remember. When did Digimon come out? Was that one that came after Pokemon? So it was Dragon Quest, then Pokemon, then Digimon? Furries in chat. I guess, dude, I don't even know. I've lost track of what they're even talking about. I know DB's trying hard just to stay awake. It's not uneasy. I just don't have a clue in hell what you're talking about. If it was uneasy, I would be looking like flushed and embarrassed. I'm just completely lost. DB, of all those, the easiest one that I remember watching was My Little Pony. But to be fair, I was like probably 6. And I watched whatever my mom put on. Yeah, no, Dragon Quest is older than Pokemon. I know that. I was thinking Digimon. Not quite sure when that one came about. I think that was after Pokemon. Okay, then you got people like this here. William Short. He is a Nintendo, Sonic fan, gaming, nerdy cook, YouTuber, anime lover, and man of God. Well, okay, that's great. Saying, I hope they win just to piss off the whole Palworld fan base. Y'all just can't keep Pokemon or Nintendo out y'all mouth and enjoy your game y'all claim to love so much. Now, guys, let's kind of go back a little bit. Palworld was just doing its thing 2 years ago. Okay, when the game came out, everyone kind of laughed about it. And then we played it and we're like, this is actually pretty cool, right? And then, of course, people discovered that it's like, wait a second, this kind of looks like Pokemon and some of the designs. And then there was a Pokemon mod, I think, for Palworld where you could actually have Ash and the Pikachu and all those other characters in there. And then they got rid of that. You couldn't do that anymore. Then Nintendo started suing the shit out of them. I'm no longer a kid. If I'm going to have Pokemon, they better be waifus. Well, okay, section there. We'll get to that in a second. So this whole concept that this is just Palworld fans angry at Pokemon for some unknown reason is insane, especially since Nintendo has been trying to sue the shit out of Pocketpair for the better part of like 2 years now, right? So now it says here from Tomaton, Nintendo patent tied to Palworld lawsuit stays rejected as JPO shuts down objections and unusually sharp-tongued notice. The language of the rejection of Nintendo's monster-catching patent application has sparked amusement among users in Japan. Something tells me some people play Palworld just for the breeding. I have not gotten to the breeding part yet. I am up to... I'll pull it up in a minute here. I'm not sure what level I am. But I've got different outfits. I've got different metal weapons, swords, and shit. Digimon has better waifu evolutions than Pokemon. Y'all are a bunch of fucking furries, aren't you? Oh my god, I'm not even kidding at this point. Y'all are furries. Let me see here. But on top of that, here's one that I think is a little more nuanced and divisive, although screw Nintendo at this point. Nintendo might be receiving a refund for the money it spent on the US tariffs, but it claims it's under no obligation to pass that money back to consumers, even though they paid higher prices for Switch 2 products. This one's interesting. If they have a fursuit, it's too late for them, probably. Because, yes, technically speaking, Nintendo is under no contractual obligation to tell their customers, well, yeah, you know, we raised the price on all of our stuff because we thought the tariffs were going to take effect, and so we have to charge more. And that's what we blamed everything on, was the tariffs for months and months and months. It was the tariffs. And so now that we've already sold you those products at the higher price, we're not going to give you a discount or a rebate or whatever, right? Digimon has actual human waifus? Oh my god. That's the real question, Plix, exactly. Most Pokemon are critters, while near half of the Digimon are humanoid. Oh, interesting. Hey, DB, I'm not a Pokemon guy, so you're 100% correct. I don't know much about Digimon or Pokemon. I know Pokemon from like the pop culture memes of knowing the different ones and watching the stupid anime. I've seen so many freaking episodes of the Pokemon anime, it's like insane. Digimon who actually look like women? Oh, interesting. So you're actually capturing, are you capturing women? But about this one, I'm like, look, from a business standpoint, I can understand Nintendo being like, we're already going to raise our prices. We've got the RAM shortage. We're not going to give everyone who bought a Switch when the prices were higher $50 credit or whatever. But at the same time, the issue I have with it is they're getting the money back, and then apparently they're still suing the US government over the tariffs or some shit, right? Pokemon do have sus backstory. Dude, I was looking at the Palpedia. There's some crazy stories and crazy information for some of these. That's why Digimon's better. Oh my god. If I can't fuck it, then I don't want it. Oh my god. All right. So you're going to get into some of the console warring shit here, right? A lot of the Nintendo fanboys. This guy here saying Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony aren't going to give refunds, and they all increase the price of various items because of tariffs. Sony and Microsoft had huge price increases. Not going to get into politics much, but the main issue is with the US government and the spontaneous nature of who's in charge. Okay, so in this situation, not just single out Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox. Should all of those companies, now that the tariffs have been struck down, should they then lower the price? And should they give refunds to the difference of the amount to customers who already bought it? I think that's the question a lot of people have. Personally, the way I look at it as somebody who owns a business, and again, tariffs are going to affect me. Current cost of goods is insane. Cost of fuel is insane. Packaging is insane, right? What the fuck are you guys talking about now? Plix, you guys have lost me. Is it on the company to retroactively give refunds to people who already purchased something? You know, you would think yes, but they won't. I mean, when it comes to a big company like Nintendo, you know the easy solution? Anybody who bought a Nintendo Switch after the price increase, email us your receipt and we'll send you a $50 e-card. You know, they've got so many like shovelware games on their store. That would be the easiest cost-effective way to earn some good PR. That's what I would think that they could do, you know? And here's the other thing. They're not going to lower the prices. The other part that pisses me off is they blame the tariffs. They raise the prices. The tariffs get struck down. They get their money back. The prices stay high. So for people who are like, well, see, it's the tariffs. Okay, but the tariffs are gone and the prices are still high. It's not just tariffs. It's greedy companies as well. Tortanga, this guy needs to stop changing his name. Tortanga saying, Nintendo is the only company of the big three suing the US government and demanding a refund on tariffs. Another guy here quote tweeted this Dexorder article saying, guys, if a product gets more expensive and you buy it regardless, if the product lowers again, the company doesn't owe you money. I thought it was obvious. Now, here's the funny thing. This is why I love Costco so much. If you buy something at Costco and within like 3 months or whatever, it's cheaper, take it back to Costco. They'll do a price adjustment. Take it back after a year. They'll still refund you. You just won't get a price adjustment, but they'll give you your money back. Like, there are companies that are actually customer friendly, right? It's the same as buying a certain subscription when it's advertised one way, then that way changes down the road. In most cases, you can talk your way down to a lower price. Oh, now you're talking about like cable bills and shit. And my God, I hate that so much. Lawsuit against Ford to give customers partial refund. They're saying that there's a class action that they're trying to take against Nintendo on this one too. Deluxe Ultimate Edition, $200, please, gamer. You'll love completionism, right? See, this is the thing that has me like irritated. It's not just like, okay, well, you bought it when it was higher. We don't have to give you money. We're not even going to give you a digital card. But okay, now the consoles are lower again. They're not going to lower the prices. That's the thing. They're never going to lower the prices. Nintendo doesn't even do refunds. I think it depends on your, like Angel's saying Walmart does the same in 30 days. So Costco does their price adjustment within 30 days, but pretty much you can take back most anything that's not like a TV, a computer, or whatever, even after a year. Hell, I've returned a printer after like 2 years to Costco, right? It's insane. Greed makes that conversation bothersome and also seem not worth the time, but if you muscle through, you can get a good outcome. Yeah. I've done that with cable bills and TV and all that shit, but it's insane. It's nuts to have to deal with that. Again, for Tanka saying, okay, then why does Nintendo think that they're owed a tariff refund exactly? Nintendo Prime saying, the Supreme Court who said they and thousands of other businesses are owed it. And so he quote tweeted and said, read the part people are talking about. Nintendo is suing for more money. This is something Microsoft and Sony are not doing. And so the note here says, Nintendo of America sued the U.S. government in March 2026 to demand a refund with interest for tariffs it paid under President Donald Trump's executive orders. This followed a February 2026 U.S. Supreme Court ruling that the tariffs were unlawful. Because these tariffs, which impacted the launch of the Switch 2 and raised prices on various accessories, were passed on to consumers, the situation sparked additional legal fallout, which again is the, I believe, class action suit people are putting against Nintendo. Yeah, again, Plix, to some people, it's never going to matter how evil and greedy a company looks. They're always just going to suck that D, slob that knob. That's just how they are. Getting on to Palworld, though, because this isn't about Nintendo. This is about the cope from Nintendo fans about Palworld. From Pirate Nation yesterday, Palworld 1.0 is selling well, according to Alinea Analytics. Take that with a grain of salt. Again, Alinea, what's the other one? Starts with the C, Circana. These are very situationally iffy as far as like how reliable they are, especially when you understand the amount of greased palms that exist in the industry. But that being said, obviously, Palworld has sold a lot of copies, right? The analyst estimates the game has now sold around 30.5 million copies overall, with nearly 86% of those sales from Steam. Like, think about that, guys. That is insane. 86% of 30 million copies are all people playing it on PC. Around 65% of all players are on Steam, showing that Valve's platform continues to be Palworld's biggest audience, and yet this game is on Game Pass. Remember, this isn't even one of those situations where it's like, okay, well, Game Pass ruined our game. We could have sold a bunch of copies, but we took the Xbox money instead. This is a game that launched in early access on Game Pass, and I don't think they've actually removed it a single time. I'm pretty sure it's been on Game Pass consistently since it launched in early access, and it has not left the platform. And yet, 86% of the sales of the game are on Steam. It's absolutely wild. Flix, you got to be a little insane to be married. I'm speaking from experience here. It says the report estimates Palworld has generated around 700 million in revenue, making it one of the biggest new gaming IPs in recent years. Someone says, this is what I want. Well, the funny thing about that is now Palworld card game has now hit 3.5 million packs sold before it even officially launches. The game drops July 30th, and pre-sales alone are already historic. You know they're going to get sued over this, right? If Nintendo's not already suing them, they're getting sued over this. In jail, I'd be the girlfriend, man. Let's be honest. Says, the same studio that survived a Nintendo lawsuit is now going after Pokemon on its own turf, the physical card market. 40 million players, 850,000 concurrent on Steam, number one on SteamDB, and now at 3.5 million packs sold before launch day. Is the Palworld trading card game the Pokemon card competitor the market's been waiting for, or are you buying on launch day? This is insane. Yo, Kativa's actually kind of goated, not gonna lie. Flix, I have nothing to say, man. I got nothing to add to your bullshit. Palworld caters to the OG Pokemon fans. Those fans grew up in Palworld as a bit more of a grown-up Pokemon-ish thing. That's the thing, DB. So here's... Talking about those numbers. Speaking of those numbers. If they put Pokemon on PC, do you think... Pokemon. Yeah. If they put Pokemon on PC, do you think that the majority of people playing it would still be Steam players? No. I don't. I don't personally think that Pokemon necessarily attracts... Well, there might be some. I don't think it appeals to a mostly male majority, like adult audience. I don't think it would. So even at this point now, if all of a sudden every amazing Pokemon game you played going back 20 years as a kid were suddenly available on Steam or on an emulator on, on your computer, I don't see people our age playing Pokemon as much. You know, it is what it is. But a game that's more crafting survival, which is already my bread and butter right there. It's one of my favorite types of games. on top of being the addictive nature of the the goal oriented with like the different crafting and everything else, the upgrades, the technology tree, the capturing pals, all that stuff. All that stuff.
Declare.
Yo, Lugia, you just saved me from brain fart. I appreciate you, man.
Finally, a worthy opponent. The Titan will fall.
Yep, finally a worthy opponent. Well, and it's even funnier because of the fact that they're not winning any of the lawsuits. That's the funniest part. But he said Palworld is the Pokemon he was waiting 15 years for. I wasn't waiting for a Pokemon. The thing for me is I was not a huge Pokemon fan. Like I said, I liked some of the characters as a kid, watched the anime with my kids. They've got like 1 or 2 Pokemon games that none of them even really play. My younger son is playing the hell out of Palworld right now. Ever since he saw me playing it a couple days ago, he's downloaded it on the Xbox and he's been playing it. He's really enjoying it. He could play Pokemon. We have a Pokemon game on our Switch. None of them play it, you know? And thank you for the 2, Luigi. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, I was the real-time example. Exactly. As long as Pokemon remains as it is, even with new features, it will not hold the fans that have aged out of it. Palworld fills that void. Is Pokemon still the biggest game ever? I imagine it's got to be one of the biggest games ever. I can't imagine it's not. I mean, Sonic has got to be up there, right? Mario, I don't know. You tell me. I have no idea. Pokemon has got to be one of the biggest franchises of all time, though. This one, I died. I legit was cracking up laughing, looking at my phone when I first saw this. And I'm sure my wife was looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with you? Isn't Palworld extremely dark? I don't know. I haven't gotten to anything that I would call dark. There is, there's enemies like the Syndicate. There's other people you can fight and kill. You can butcher your pals. You can do all sorts of weird like experiments and shit on them. Probably like you can combine them into like a condenser to make take 3 weaker pals and make the 1 stronger one out of them. So there's shit you can do. I don't know if I'd call it dark or not. But this guy here, the caption on this is, fly, you fat fuck. Both of our lives depend on it. Fly. This right here just makes me want to go back and keep playing Palworld. I'm going to mute it because I don't know if the music's copyrighted or from the game or what. But this poor bird is trying his hardest just to get off the ground. And this big ass wave is coming for him. I died. This is so funny. Hey, Vernum. Sonic or Sonic Chew. Oh my God. Not Sonichu, man. I saw a clip of this game and they're grilling a Pokemon. Yeah, there's no Pokemon in the game. Its decline is why Nintendo are being so whiny about it. They don't want to lose that limelight. I've nuked every one of those comments on X shitting on your Metathon post. Okay, cool. Yeah, dude, honestly, I don't even care. I just, move on. For me, it's easy. As long as it's not one of the situations where people are actually trying to like flag your account or report your account because they don't like what you said. I don't care if people want to be like little bitches or whatever. That's up to them. So apparently somebody did an actual voiced version of this. I died when I heard this.
Fly! Fly! Fly, you fat fuck! Fly! Both of our lives depend on it! Fly! Fly!
That's enough. But you get the idea. I mean, I'm actually like really excited to keep playing Palworld. There have been games that I'm like, oh, it's kind of a cool game. It's whatever. Not gonna lie, that looked pretty cool. This one though, something in the Palworld formula is really addictive. It's crazy. This guy here says, I'd just give up on making new Pokemon games myself if I were Game Freak. What a waste of IP being exclusively handled by nacho reheaters. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it, man. Pissing off the short bus is my specialty. You're not wrong, though. You are not wrong. Dude, I got so many like community awards for that Luna Abyss review that I left on Steam. That was like epic. That was great. Who did it better? Here you go. Here's your boss battle comparisons. It's Ark, but with colorful creatures instead of dinosaurs. Yeah. I don't know, Plix, but I love it. At least it wasn't AI. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, the top one's better in my opinion because it's more cinematic. You got a much bigger battle going on. But like I said, Palworld's got something about it, man. It's basically Fortnite plus Pokemon. It's very easy to get into, but it does have a learning curve. Oh, for sure, man. The device limitation was part of why it was so popular. In fact, they haven't done more way with it. Yeah, it's sad, dude. I'll play someday soon. I'm not too keen on overly cartoony. Okay, DB, I'm not a big fan of cartoony games either. I'm really not. I don't even care when the thing is, when I'm playing Palworld, I don't care that the graphics are cartoony. To me, that doesn't even matter. Let's see here. It says Palworld's boss fights are on a completely different level than Pokemon. The scale, the intensity, the gameplay depth, there's simply no comparison. But is this an actual Pokemon fight, or is this that fan game that we were talking about? This says Pokemon Arceus versus Palworld boss fight. Isn't this the fan game that they were talking about before? For the middle ground, not too realistic, not too pastel, like give me the old WoW art style with good gameplay. Dude, that's part of what I love about Valheim, is that it has the right blend of different types of graphic styles, where it's, again, it's low poly, it's you know, pixelated, but it's still stunning to look at. That's an official game. That looked pretty bad, not gonna lie. That looks awful. How old is this game? Like, maybe it's just a really old game. In that case, I'll cut him some slack, you know? Okay, you got this guy here saying, Palworld is truly an amazing game, and its PvP arena is no exception. It's everything it should be. I grew up on Pokemon, went to the very first movie, got the Ancient Mew, had Holo, Charizard, etc. Pokemon should never be angry, just inspired to be better. Yeah, good luck with that. Pokemon doesn't do that. They don't do the be better. They want to suppress all competition so they don't have to compete. Nintendo Wii game, probably. Yeah, Valheim's awesome, dude. I was not aware, though, that Palworld had arenas. Like, I'm so early in the game, you know? It's crazy how much stuff there is in this game that I haven't found yet. Looks like pre-beta with missing assets. It's something weird looking. Arena Islands? Oh my god, dude. There's even... Is there PvP? Hang on a second. I think one of these clips I have is actual PvP. I don't think so. Okay, here you go. For all you guys talking about Digimon and waifus. Haven't played Palworld since right after release. Content and pals have increased and it's super fun. I don't know if you can tell what's going on here, but my god. Something to wash off fatigue I have playing Parry Slop games. John, it's actually really fun, man. That one's for JDA. Even though it's got the peen. Got a couple of those on my base. I think I saw one out in the wild, although I was like in over my head. I'm level 15 or 16. My Chillette that I'm riding is still like level 15. There's like everything around us is like level 30 bosses and shit. I had to get the hell out of there, man. It was crazy. Like, I almost died a few times. Yeah, no, this is another thing about like Pokemon in general. Any of these games where you have like pals, Pokemon, whatever you want to call them, where the same one is both genders. I'm like, so one's male, one's female, but they look exactly the same. That's kind of odd, not gonna lie. It's a little weird. Yeah, I'm sure I'll catch one eventually. All right, so getting into the salt. I don't know why Harmon Smith follows me. I have no idea. It scares the shit out of me that him and Boogie both follow me. Harmon Smith has been on a bit of a rant the last couple of days. He's a little unhinged, complaining about Palworld. Says, hopefully the Palworld situation encourages Nintendo to go after infringing material more often, especially in the mobile space. I still haven't gotten everyone I knew being obsessed with Flappy Bird. Now, mind you, he's being ratioed on everything he posts. Palworld has lost 200,000 players from yesterday. And of course, the community note says Palworld has not lost 200,000 players. Its Steam 24-hour peak concurrent players remain around 820,000. He might be part of the Nintendo part. No, he's retarded, John. I think part of the problem is he's just retarded. So I haven't pulled it up yet, but he has a video recently complaining about YouTubers and Palworld, right? It's not good. Everything I've seen of his, I've seen via people like Fratanga and Cult Classic Cage making fun of him. I have never once watched a video of his willingly on my own. This guy here says TLDR, OP forgot what jobs are since they haven't had one in a long time. Player counts for Palworld peak during the day. Oh my god, you guys are reaching levels of copium that's actually impressive. 40 million players. Yes, these numbers are obviously fake if you look into it even a little bit. Oh my god, he's actually retarded. It's not a bit. He's truly retarded. Palworld lost players on Sunday due to the World Cup. Palworld lost players on Monday and Tuesday because these are weekdays. Palworld lost players because people are beating the game. When will you all admit that the game is bleeding players? I'm still playing Pokemon. Oh my god, H Brown, I've got that tweet pulled up, man. I have it pulled up. It's next up. Oh my god. It's coming up here. The Palworld player count is dropping like a rock. Mind you, these are like day after day after day. This has been multiple days worth of posts, right? Fallen all the way to 3rd. Oh my god, how will they ever recover? Also, the only top paid game in the top, or only paid game in the top 7. It's crazy. He has a blue badge. Just block him. Don't give him $4. He has to get a lot more impressions than this if he's going to get paid. Let me tell you, these impressions... Okay, 500,000 impressions here. If he gets a couple million impressions, he might get 30, 40 bucks. Maybe. I don't know. I'm shadow banned, so I don't get impressions anymore. Okay, quote tweeting Harmon Smith here, this person, Average Gamer, where Harmon says, Palworld has sold so poorly that Pocketpair has already put it on sale. Average Gamer says, this game has basically been on permanent sale since launch. LMAO. Hey, Cassie. Yeah, I think it was you or Fratanga who introduced me to him. I sent you that, the screenshot of that to you when he followed me. I think it was like a couple months ago. I'm like, what the fuck did I do to make this guy follow me? Please, I'm doing something wrong. Blix, we're all just a bunch of freaks and weirdos on there, man. He has a blue bit. Yeah. 100% retarded, or he legit lives in a different reality. Oh, I don't think he lives in a third world country. I know, we'll get to that in a second. I might just have to pull up a YouTube video of his and we'll just watch it for about 5 seconds. Kilted Cajun quote tweeted this person and said, I guess Nintendo fanboys don't understand customer appreciation or Steam sales. I mean, that's the thing. Imagine being so trapped in your little console warring like bubble that you can't understand that Steam does a lot of sales. Hey, Burner. No worries, dude. You're also the only person who ever, like, comments on Twitter. Oh, my God. Plix, I'm right there with you, man. I live in California. It's a third world country. Oh, my God. Oh, different plane of existence? Yeah, maybe. Harmon Smith, I'm very convinced that Palworld is a pump and dump scam by the CEO. It doesn't seem as if there's any intentions to make an actual viable product out of it. Okay, Derek Whalen here says that would have been the case had 1.0 never happened, or either the collabs they had, but since those happened, the game's incredibly viable. No, that's the scam. Palworld is having other companies invest in them to create the illusion that they're a lot more popular and relevant than they actually are. Oh my god. Yeah, Colt, Cassie, I've noticed that he has some like hardcore, like right-wing political opinions, which might be why he's following me, because, you know, I say a lot of, like, crazy shit on Twitter, so maybe something I said resonated. But, like, yeah, Wagon Burner, it's more fun over on YouTube than it is on Twitter, man. Honestly, I don't even know why I still stream to Twitter. I do it because it's easy. It's just a click of a button and I'm there. But I don't know what I did to make him follow me. At least when it came to Boogie, I tagged him in something, and so he followed me. By responding, you feed the cancer. I'm not responding to his post, though. I'm not. I'm not gonna actually reply to any of his shit. Gives me a reason to repost you. Ah, fair enough. We have your... no, dude. Hey, Vernum. Okay, little bit of a complaint about Twitter. Their entire website right now, with the way that everything is working and not working on, is completely fucked up. So I was part of Community Notes. I'm pretty sure you guys already knew that, right? I mentioned it before. I am no longer in Community Notes, except I can see all proposed notes and I can write notes, but I can't go to... You guys see the More tab here? I can go to Community Notes here. If I'm on my phone, I have no way of accessing Community Notes on my phone. They've completely fucked up the entire site. Not shadow banned in the technical sense? Oh, hey, that's an improvement. Because for a while it was bad. I'm now search banned. So, DB, when I searched earlier, it said that I was search banned. Is that the same difference, the autofill one? I really wanted a retard to do the shit my kids used to do when they were young and doing chores. What are you talking about, Plix? I have no idea what you're mentioning, man. Palworld started as more of a game than Star Citizen. I mean, dude, for real. Even when Palworld was in early access on Game Pass when it first launched, it was still a viable, playable game compared to some of the other shit that's out there. So this is crazy. Fertanga says, Pump and Dump is that Pokemon Legends ZA DLC. Y'all got straight up scammed. There you go. Cajun knows what I'm talking about. I still hold you personally responsible for my knowledge of Harmon's pathetic existence. I'm telling you, it was either Frit or Cassie that introduced me to Harmon. It's bad, guys. In fact, hang on a sec. Before we get off the topic of Harmon, because I don't think I have anything else from him. Let me let me pull this up. Hang on. Oh, I said I wasn't gonna do this to you guys because partly I didn't want to watch him at all. Oh my god, all my feed is all old videos of Asmongold talking to this chick that he's dating now. Oh my god, it's so bad. Dude, all the Harmon Smith videos are people making fun of him. That's crazy. All right, here you guys go. Here's Harmon. For anybody who doesn't know. Hey, Mari.
It's kind of crazy how the average YouTuber is damage controlling the Palworld situation. You have guys coming out and trying to say that, like, oh, they almost got 1 million players with 1.0, you know, which is...
Mind you, this guy is an author. I believe he uses AI to write his books. He's got books on Amazon. It's so bad. Looks like you're a stereotypical fanboy. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Hey, Mari. In a few years and he'll trans himself? Probably.
Half the amount it got in early access, right? And it's dropping all the time. It's very clearly dropping every day. And yet we're still in this weird phase where people think this is going to beat Pokemon.
He must be barbecuing or something.
Phenomenon. This is going to be the next big thing. And it was just never going to happen. But what's really strange is just how the YouTube community is moving in lockstep to try and push this idea that Palworld is this huge success. And I do.
This is the craziest thing. I actually haven't made a single video talking about Palworld. I could have. Over the last few days, I really wanted to make a video talking about Palworld compared to games like Marathon, compared to games that have just not resonated with people. And again, Palworld and Marathon have nothing to do with each other, other than one has players, one doesn't, right? He doesn't use AI to write his books since his books predate AI implementation. I heard they are just genuinely awful slop. I don't think... Here's the thing, Cassie. I've been reading a lot lately. Like, this year alone, since my son's birthday back in, like, February, we were over by a used bookstore, and I'm like, I need to go look at some books. I need to start reading more. So I picked up the entire Witcher series over the course of a few months, read all of them, read, what was it, Starship Troopers recently. I read... Farnham's Freehold, which was weird. That was by the same guy who wrote Starship Troopers. And then I'm working my way through the Dune series now. So as much as I really enjoy reading at this point in my life, I also value it too much to spend time reading garbage slop. That's the thing. It's like I could subject myself to his book just for the sake of discovery, just for the sake of like trying to figure out what makes this guy's brain function or not function. But I don't think I should have to subject myself to that, you know? What he doesn't understand is this is just the first Palworld game. There will be sequels, spin-offs, copycats. Yeah. And guess what? When there's a copycat of Palworld, Palworld's not going to sue them. Why would they?
Think like it's
I don't know, Black Cat. I think he's
the
just
YouTube grift community that's doing it.
I think there's just something wrong with him.
Gold, Clownfish TV, Endymion TV, like a handful of other people, like Fratanga. Like there's a lot of other people. There's a lot of people coming out saying that like Nintendo lost the lawsuit, that Palworld's better than Pokemon, and that.
But Nintendo did lose part of their lawsuit with the patent. That's an undeniable fact.
Like Nintendo's days are numbered. I even saw some weirdo come out and say that like Palworld was gonna do better with the TCG than Pokemon. Like, oh, they've already sold 3.5 million cards. It's just like...
Okay, a Palworld trading card game is never going to rival the success or the value of Pokemon cards. Because the Pokemon cards the insane value, again, the perceived value is these people that do these packs, so they buy $10,000 worth, they open them, there's this one rare one, people go nuts over it, like beating each other up, stabbing each other at the machines just for cards. I don't think a Palworld trading card game is going to replace that. Like, come on. Yeah, exactly, why is that stuck? Of course he has an Apple Watch. What's he trying to say? I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to say.
It was just like a figure that was shipped to retailers. For comparison's sake, Pokemon ships like 10 billion cards a year. So Palworld
I know,
has a long way
John.
to go before it would even like scratch those numbers. But like we're
not
just
going to
in
watch this whole video,
weird, like,
just so you know.
situation now where people are like blindly believing these YouTubers and these clickbait headlines and are like vastly misrepresenting like the actual situation.
Oh, did you order some, Cassie? Oh my God. So his entire argument is don't believe YouTubers because they're YouTubers, but I'm sitting here a YouTuber. So you should believe me, not to believe them.
Like what we're seeing is a complete misrepresentation of what's going on in the community. Everybody is bending over backwards to push the narrative that Nintendo has failed, that the Pokemon Company has been embarrassed, that the...
No one's saying Nintendo has failed. As a company, it's still very, very, very valuable. What they're doing is they're losing their lawsuit. That's undeniable.
Lawsuit has already been dismissed.
Other than his own Plix, probably not.
Court case will not be resolved until October, right? Like, you just have all these people acting like they've had some huge epic W, and it's just...
Wait, Blipping, what do you say? My post being invisible would certainly explain why I've never responded. Are we talking about on Twitter? What is he trying to say? John, I don't know what he's trying to say.
Isn't really true. I went on YouTube today.
Does he have a cave he's normally in? I don't watch his videos.
The numbers. I was looking at like, you know, the YouTubers covering the game and like how many views they were getting. And it's like, it's very self-evident if you do that, just how much more popular Pokemon is than Palworld right now. And there's not even really like a major Pokemon product out. But like, you know, I was looking.
Dude, Oblivion, Twitter
like,
has been
Pokemon
weird for me lately, like really
was getting
bad.
Way more attention than Palworld related media.
He's not outside.
Like,
the
and
leaves
again,
are static. No, there's a bug there. The leaves are moving. He's outside.
That's just very obvious simply by looking at the trends, looking at the numbers, looking at like, you know, the tweet.
All right, I'm done listening to him talk for 3 minutes already because all he's saying is if you look at the trends and look at the numbers, he's not showing numbers. Dude, he could have recorded all this and then had gone back to his computer and put on, here's some numbers, here's some stats, here you go. You're not saying anything. You're just filling the air with bullshit, dude. Like, give me a break. Okay. All right, I'm not watching that anymore. That's terrible. You get the idea. This is the man posting this saying that, oh yeah, Palworld's not really a success. It's actually failed, guys. Because trust me, bro. Yeah, I'm not subjecting you guys or myself to that any longer. At all. Put it on 4 times speed so we can at least laugh a bit. Dude, honestly, it's more sad than funny. It's just, I don't know. Okay, then you got guys like this, Kennedy Clark. Struggling to reach 1 million players with all this hype is disappointing. Star Fox did better than this in a week. So here you go. Community notes. Palworld's Steam page in the quoted post shows a 24-hour peak of 909,000 players. Data shows recent peaks near 960,000 concurrent players. Star Fox on Switch 2 sold 41,680 physical units in Japan in its first week. We don't have the digital numbers. We don't have like a chart for Nintendo. They don't share that information, and they never will. Isn't Star Fox like a 4-hour game? If we're talking about, it's a remake of the original game, right? Which I think is insane. Like, as much as I loved playing the original game on Super Nintendo, I cannot imagine wasting my time. But I'm discovering after all these years of wanting an Ocarina of Time remake, because that was my favorite game when I was like, I don't know, 12 when it came out. I can't remember how old I was. I generally just don't care about remakes. I really don't. Yeah, they don't need to show their numbers, and they won't. They never will. So for me, people that went out and bought the Star Fox game, I'm like, if you enjoyed it, great, awesome, wonderful. I just don't care. Fratanga saying crazy. There were more people playing Palworld on a Sunday than copies of Metroid Prime 4 sold. Ouch. Salty. It's true. Nintendo confirmed Metroid Prime 4 sold over 1 million units. My God, Palworld has sold over 30 million. Like, are you serious? Seriously, guys? Are we even having the same conversation right now? I don't want any remakes now unless they're made by fans and open source projects. Remakes are a chance for people who didn't make the game to crap all over it. I'm telling you that what right now. I think I'm gonna play the Halo Campaign Evolve when it drops, because it's gonna be on Game Pass when it first launches. I am genuinely like horrified by what I've seen from that game. It doesn't remind me of Halo, you know? You see trillions ain't billions? Yeah, fair enough. Listen, I'm not pro Nintendo, I'm just anti Palworld. What a weird take to have. Like, that is a strange opinion. I bought Palworld when it first hit EA. I'm not the same with these normies. Yeah, the thing is, like, I played it when it first launched, but I wasn't sure how much I wanted to keep playing it because I had so much other shit going on at the time. Now that I actually bought it on Steam, it's right now it's the only game I want to play. Not even kidding. Metroid Prime 4 was a bad game. I remember I didn't even play Metroid and I heard that that game was a bad game. Key difference between Palworld fans and Pokemon fans. Pokemon has fans. Palworld has people pretending to be fans of it just to spite Pokemon fans. This is the thing. This is what I don't understand. This was originally the post here saying the key difference between Pokemon and Palworld fans. Palworld fans want Pokemon to be better. Pokemon fans pretend Palworld is worse. I agree with that because I'm not anti-Pokemon. I like the series. I like the franchise. I like the characters. I like Ash. I love the anime. I've seen some good Pokemon movies. I think it's a good franchise. The problem is they haven't done shit with it in like 15 years. So no, I don't play Palworld because I want to spite Pokemon. When I boot up Palworld and play Palworld, it's because Palworld is legitimately a fun, enjoyable, addicting experience when you're playing it. Yeah, come up with new shit. Do something different. You know? Yeah, 30 million people. Think about that. The level of like brain rot that people like Harmon Smith and these people online have, where they truly believe that there are 30 million people who hate Nintendo and hate Pokemon so much that they're suffering through the dog shit that they are convinced Palworld is just to spite Pokemon. Guys, I don't have that kind of time in my life. There are plenty of things that I do out of spite. A tweet that I send off that takes me 5 seconds to think about, and then I move on with my life. I will not sit and play again. Okay, so I've only played Palworld like since I bought it like 3 times. Currently, I've played it for 8 hours, 8.5 hours almost. For me, for a game I've only booted up a grand total of 3 times since buying, that's a lot of time I've devoted to that. And instead of streaming tonight, I probably would have sat here and played it for another 2 or 3 hours. I don't do that out of spite. I do that because I'm genuinely enjoying myself, you know? Luckily, I've never been a console player, so I've never invested in Sony. Here's the thing. I don't have an issue with people enjoying a console or enjoying some of their console exclusives or enjoying a particular controller over another. I have my preferences when it came to controllers and consoles, which ones I like better. It's the console warring and acting like that there's some, I don't know, it's like religious fanaticism with these people. It's absolutely insane. This guy here says, playing Palworld, remembering it was almost robbed from us by Pokemon, then looking at the new Pokemon gameplay and how shit and stupid it is bolsters my anger exponentially. Again, this is somebody who probably was a fan of Pokemon back in the day. This guy here says, why do people compare Palworld gameplay to Pokemon? Palworld is survival crafting, Pokemon is turn-based JRPG. The only reason they're remotely comparable is creature catching and Palworld copying designs. You just don't like Pokemon. Being a gamer versus being a fanboy, gotta establish different behaviors. Yeah. Yeah, who plays a game out of spite? Okay, I mean, when I streamed Ex Voto, that wasn't out of spite. That was out of, like, demented, perverse curiosity, and I actually had a really fun time doing it. So, I don't know if I'd call that spite so much. Another person here said, hot damn, Pokemon fans are miserable. It's not our fault your company can't make a half-decent Pokemon game. Palworld filled a gap left by Nintendo. I think that's a fair take. Switch has at minimum 3 incredible Pokemon games across 3 distinct genres. Snap, Pokken and Arceus, plus Pokopia for S2. Palworld is genuinely one of the worst games I've ever attempted to play. I don't believe anyone actually likes it beyond hoping it succeeds despite Nintendo. So, here's a fun fact. There was a game, in fact, I'm pretty sure it's from Pocketpair. Let me pull Steam back up, because I remember my daughter downloaded this game on Game Pass, a couple years back. And it was bad. It was genuinely not good. Craftopia. Craftopia is a bad game. Same kind of idea as your generic, let's say, cozy survival crafting sim. It's just generally not a great game. Doesn't look good. It looks more like Palworld, but like not refined. Anybody that's played or looked at Craftopia will understand. It's a very bad survival crafting game, right? Not good in my opinion. Yeah, for me, Mari, exactly. I really like the anime. Like, my kids have watched a ton of it, and I always enjoyed watching it with them. So for me, the Pokemon that I actually enjoy is the anime itself. Dude, the Craftopia game is so bad. It's really bad. So for me, Palworld is nothing like Craftopia as far as like the quality of the game. There are things I complain about. With Palworld, the detail, like the textures in the mountains and the like when you're climbing and stuff, the animations are a little wonky. They're not great. But it's a very simple game. The idea is very simple, and it plays very well, you know? I guess the stupid will eventually run out of money, and us that didn't buy this slop kept with little we haven't invested in devs that appreciate their gamers. Craftopia, wild game name. Yeah, dude, not very original, you know? Not very original at all. But yes, if you're going to talk about, like, terrible games, absolutely terrible games, Craftopia was awful. The FGC competitive base is somehow more stinky than Smash players. Oof. Dude, Smash players are something else. That's crazy. Smash is... Look, I love old school Smash, like back on the GameCube. Even the one on the Switch 1 is fine. As a game goes, it's got more characters and all that. I preferred Smash on the GameCube. But its fan base is absolutely wild. So this guy here put on here saying that basically it deserves to be a Game of the Year candidate, that Palworld should be in the consideration for 2026. 900,000 concurrent players, 500,000+ daily, 40 million copies, or 40 million players, 30 million copies sold. So, I mean, I would not say it's Game of the Year, but what are your metrics? Like enjoyability, people playing it, total sales? Because for me, Palworld is a game that I'm genuinely, like, every day when I come home, I'm like, do I have time to play it? I guess I have to wait, I just realized I was watching 6 minutes behind. Oh, damn. Sorry, Mari. I hate it when that happens. Oh, man. Another person quote tweeted this guy, says, "This is an active disrespect to all of the goated games that came out this year. If Slop World is mentioned even as a nominee for Game of the Year, then either that year was full of stinkers or Pocketpair just blew all of their money for that to happen." Like, guys, this is insane cope. Like, it's one thing if you go, I don't like them because they copied Pokemon, or I don't like them because I don't like the devs for X, Y, or Z reason. But to act like the game doesn't actually have... Oh my god. Wow. Oh my god. Sometimes these memes, guys, I don't know what to tell you. Wow, okay. Yeah, I got Cassie's tweet here. Palworld Game of the Year, baby. I don't know if I would give it my Game of the Year. I would have to look at every single contender and weigh them, like as far as like the... Because remember, we've had a ton of games this year. A lot of like really good ones too. The problem is that they are so drastically, like the games are so different. Like how do you pick which one the Game of the Year is? Do you give it to Pragmata? Do you give it to Crimson Desert? Or do you give it to Palworld? Do you give it to, God only knows what? It is wild, DB. DB wild, it is wild. Good thing about Palworld is that the devs don't want to execute you on the spot if you make fan games or fan projects on like the digital Yakuza. That is the thing. That it really is what it comes down to, I think. And you get people saying, my honest review on Palworld is that it has everything I asked for from a Pokemon game for years and never got. Endless content, and I can play side by side with my friends without the hassle of lag through the Nintendo network. 10 out of 10, can't stop playing. That is another thing. Nintendo's online experience is really bad. Marathon will win Game of the Year, John. I hope it does. I really hope it does. Now, mind you, it's only July. We're getting close to August. We still have time for Fair Games to come out and everything else. And I know Fair Games isn't coming out, but that's beside the point. So who knows? Who knows what will happen? Gigabear saying, a lot of people don't want to hear this, but Palworld is a very cyclical game, and that's okay. The spike is not going to last as people complete the new content. That's fair. The key will be if Pocketpair having a good update cadence even as they work on their new stuff. The guy who responds says, of course, it's a game with an ending and people have life. Even in early access, Pocketpair says it's supposed to be enjoyed and then leave it when you're done, just like how we play games in the past. And I think that's a perfectly fine, fair take. Dude, fair games is never happening, okay? I don't know where Smega's been, but if he were here, I would tell him it's not happening. Like, truly, never will happen. Palworld will gain a following if they just allow for player-run servers. Oh my god, I forgot my mixtape. So, I want to do this. I need to put together the journalist-approved, Game of the Year candidates, and then the player-approved Game of the Year candidates, because I honestly think this year the player-approved side would outweigh the journalist-approved. Because honest to God, there have actually been a lot of really good games this year. Like, in a lot of enjoyable games. Obituary category for games who spelled spectacular? Yeah, exactly. Say his name 2 more times. No, I don't want him to show up because I'm trying to go to bed. Death is coming and she wants me to go to bed. Dude, my wife is probably texting me right now too. Yeah, I got one I need to check on my phone. I still believe the Concordian timeline must march on. My God, I've got that in my bookmarks, guys. I think it's the top one right here. No, it's not that one. Yo, I bookmarked this. Master TDS put something on there about an afro on a Jolly Roger. I have no idea. Here you go. This is what you want. This is what you guys are hoping for right here. You just take this and you add fair games into that, you know? It'll probably be nominated for Game of the Year, but I don't know if they'll allow it to win. Probably not. Beetlejuice of the Candyman. Oh my God. The craziest part is they said it wouldn't come true. They said it couldn't be done. They said there's no way. There's no way Marathon will be Concord 3. Just no way. And we are literally looking at it, like in real time, becoming Concord 3. Only worse. Because they at least with Concord and Highguard had the good sense to put those games out of their misery. They put a gun to those games' heads, they pulled the trigger, and they said, I'm so sorry. You never should have existed, you know? A deluge of live service slop. My God, it's just crazy. It's this art piece called Downfall. I don't know. It's something Smash shared. I have no idea where it came from, but it's good for. I quote tweeted it before, and I said, "Who said AI can't make art?" Because it's beautiful. This is really it's a work of art for sure. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna hit the hay. Let me see if there's anybody up streaming. If not, I'm just gonna go to bed and we'll just end the stream. Otherwise, I'll raid whoever is up with whatever I have left here. Let me take a look. Redirect. Who's up? Cinevere, Smash is still streaming? Alright, we'll send him his way, I guess. Unless, Empress, are you going to be on soon? Oh, will do, Cass. Oh, thanks, Mari. Redirect to Empress? Alright, I'll send you guys to Empress. Looks like she's going to be streaming soon. Alright, guys. Made an indie about black pirates fighting against colonialism, somehow missing Islam influence on the slave trade at the same time. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my God. Oh, can we get a welcome to Highguard? Okay, yes. Welcome to Highguard. Yes, that's what you get. All right, I'm going to go to sleep now. Highguard is dead and so am I. Later, guys. Love you all. Stay safe. Friday, forgot to mention this. Open beta for Hell Let Loose Vietnam. I'm going to be playing that one as long as the servers are open and available. So I'll be streaming that. I don't know how many of you guys are going to be playing it or not. We can always try to get a group together, get in the same lobby or whatnot. So, all right, guys, I'm out. See y'all Friday.